Huh?
Something smells. What is it?
Is it shoe polish?
No, it's stronger.
Is it cleaning fluid?
Mm-mm.
Is it me?
It's you, Gomer.
It's just this little bag of camphor balls.
Camphor balls?
Uh-huh. It's supposed to be good for a cold, and I'm coming down.
Well, I don't know if it's good for a cold, but it ought to be good for keeping the moths off your chest.
Congratulations, men. Do you see this? Once again, I have not been named Sergeant of the Week. Sergeant Porter got it this week. I think Sergeant Zaleski got it the week before that, and the week before that it was Sergeant Tully. But have I been named Sergeant of the Week? No. And do you know why I never make it? I'll tell you why. In order to be named Sergeant of the Week, I have to have the cooperation of my men. And I have not been getting that cooperation. Now, there are two ways I can get that. I can ask you all to please, please cooperate. That's one. And two, I can get on your backs and ride the tar out of you. Now, let's see. Let's try that second way first, shall we? All right, everybody on the road. We're going to double time it around the entire base.
Sergeant?
You heard me, Pyle, on the road.
Could I please be excused from that there run?
Be excused? Is that what you said?
Yes, sir. On account I think I'm coming down.
You're coming down? From where?
He's got a cold, Sergeant.
Rescue, get out of here.
That's right, Sergeant. I got a cold. I've been sniffing at these camphor balls. Don't seem to do no good. And I feel kind of heady. There's no two ways about it. I'm coming down.
Well, I've got a wonderful remedy for you. Just fill your mouth with water, then sit on a stove, and when the water boils, your cold will be gone. All right, Pyle, get out on the road and start running.
Sergeant, I really don't feel too good. If I could just...
I'm gonna sweat that cold out of you, Pyle. In fact, I might let you do a few extra laps. Fall in. There up, hey up, double tap, hey up. You all like the little trot you just had? Well, it's only the beginning, folks. I'm gonna get through to you people that I mean business till I am made Sergeant of the Week. I'm gonna stay on your backs until I get the kind of cooperation I want. Did you do your 2 extra laps?
I did, Sergeant. I really feel bad. Can I go sick bay?
Okay, Pyle. You can go to sick bay. But you hear me good. You better really have something. You better really be sick.
Easy does it now. There you go.
Throat's red, quite irritated. You've got yourself a good old-fashioned cold.
Felt myself coming down. I just knew it.
May I have some water, please? Here. Take one of these pills.
Is that one of them anti-pills?
Antihistamine.
That's it. You know about that, do you?
Yes, I know about that. It'll probably make you drowsy for about 24 hours. She'll be all right tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Now go back to your barracks. Tell your sergeant I want you to get into your bunk and take the rest of the day off.
Yes, sir. And may I say, sir, I think you doctor almost as good as Doc Crenshaw back home.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
You can go now.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I hope we meet again sometimes under happier circumstances. Bye, ma'am.
What do you think you're doing?
Getting into my bunk, Sergeant.
Why?
Doctor's orders. I'm sick.
Oh, really? What have you got?
Well, it's kind of a washed-out feeling. Bad cold's what it is.
Pyle, do you think I was born yesterday? I've seen this act 1,000 times. Get out of that bunk.
I can't, Sergeant. I just can't. Doctor told me to stay in my bunk till tomorrow. Said to tell you.
Oh, really? Well, isn't that convenient? You'll just happen to miss out on this afternoon's drill and this evening's hike?
Well, I sure am sorry about that, but you wouldn't want me to go against the doctor's orders, would you?
Oh, no. And just to make sure you didn't misunderstand the doctor, I'm gonna call him up myself and find out. You know what I mean, Pyle?
Sick bay. Who? Gomer Pyle's platoon sergeant?
Yes, ma'am. Can I speak to the doctor who examined Pyle?
Well, Lieutenant Ames had to step outside for a few minutes. If you don't mind waiting, you can hold on. Fine. He shouldn't be too long.
What do you think, Doc?
Not a chance, Billy. He's had it. Well, maybe if I'd seen him earlier, who knows, I might have been able to help him. Not now.
Well, I thought I'd get your advice before I took him to the vet.
Believe me, at this stage, a vet is a waste of time. Who takes care of the old boy here on the base?
One of the sergeants down at the stable. He's devoted to this horse. He's going to feel real bad.
Yeah, and not much I can tell a sergeant, but put him out in the fields and let him enjoy his last days.
Oh, yes, Lieutenant Ames is looking at the horse right now. Well, if you'd like to hold on, he should be in very soon. Fine, just hold the wire.
All right. Let's have a look at that arm.
Oh, Lieutenant, you have two calls. The one on the right wants to know about the horse, and the one on the left wants to know about a Private Gomer Pyle.
Thank you. Prepare him for X-ray.
Yes, sir.
Which call was which?
The one on the right is about the horse.
Hello. It's Lieutenant Ames speaking.
Hello, sir. This is Sergeant Carter. I was wondering if you could give me any information on your examination.
Well, Sergeant, I guess the best way to put it is bluntly. He's on his way out.
Sir?
I'm sorry, Sergeant, but he's had it.
Really, sir? Are you sure?
Well, it happens to all of us sooner or later.
Well, I know, but...
Somebody's been riding him too hard. After all, when you have somebody on your back every day, sooner or later the wear and tear shows.
And there's nothing you can do?
I'm afraid not, Sergeant. Maybe if I'd seen him sooner. I don't know. Hello, this is Lieutenant Ames speaking. Hello? Hello? Guess he couldn't wait.
And he thinks he has a cold. Pyle.
Hi, Sergeant.
How do you feel, boy?
Gee, Sergeant, I feel just like I came back from the dead.
Don't say that. You just gotta rest, boy, that's all. You just have to get your rest.
But I gotta get out of bed. I gotta help make you Sergeant of the Week.
Who cares about Sergeant of the Week? I know I got the best private... No. The best man on the entire base in my platoon.
Who's that?
You, Pyle.
Golly. Thanks, Sergeant.
I wish I had a lot of men like you, Pyle. I know I pick on you more than I do the other fellows, but that's to keep them on the ball. You see that, don't you, boy? Huh?
Well, I'll be. Now I know why you was always on my back.
Please, Pyle.
Don't worry, though, Sergeant. If it helps the outfit, you ride me all you want to.
Who's calling, please? Sergeant Carter? Well, just a minute. I'll see if the lieutenant is in. It's Sergeant Carter, sir.
Carter? Oh, the animal lover. I've heard of cases of man's devotion to dumb animals, but this one outdoes Tarzan and Cheetah. Lieutenant Ames speaking.
Sir, I know that you said nothing could be done for him, but can anything be done for him? I mean, can't something be done for him?
Look, Sergeant, I told you this morning he's just beyond treatment.
I know, but, well, what are we going to do? Just let him fade out?
All you can do is try and make him comfortable.
Yes, sir. But if there were any suggestions you had on, well, how we could make him more comfortable. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I'll write it down.
You might give him an apple or a piece of sugar.
Apple or a piece of sugar. Yes, sir. I got it. Sorry, sir. I didn't quite get that. Yes, sir. I got a brush. Brushing. Right. Did you say flies, sir? You did. Keep the flies off him? Yes, sir. Anything else, sir?
That's about it, Sergeant. Just make sure he rests as much as possible.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. An apple, a piece of sugar, brush him, keep the flies off him.
What did you say, Sergeant? Something the matter? Golly, you look awful. I think you ought to be in this bed instead of me.
No. I'm all right.
I feel fine, Sergeant. I want to get up and do some work.
No. You gotta follow doctor's orders, Pyle.
I suppose the doctor means well. But did I ever tell you about my cousin Piedmont? Well, he had a cold and they put him to bed. Well, he was laying there one day and all of a sudden he went just like that.
He went just like that?
Mm-hmm. He always went like that when he had an idea. And this time his idea was to get up out of that bed and go to work. And sure enough, he felt all better.
Look, Pyle, I'm here to keep you comfortable. So as a favor to me, will you please stay in bed?
Well, okay, Sergeant. But just 'cause it's a personal favor to you, though, I wouldn't do this for nobody else.
Won't be any next time. That's all there is to it. We got this.
All right, you guys, knock off the noise. Knock it off. Can't you see we got a sick man here? Here, Pyle. That'll be good for you.
Hey, Sergeant, thank you. Just what I wanted. You know what they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Sure is juicy. Won't you have some?
No, Pyle, you finish it. That'll keep the flies from bothering you.
Sir, that's real swell of you, sir.
Oh, another thing, Pyle, you don't have to call me sir anymore.
I know that was only in boot camp. I can just call you Sergeant.
Well, I mean, you can call me Vince.
Shazam.
After all, we're in the same outfit and all.
Gosh, I don't know where I can get used to calling you Vince.
We'll try. Okay?
Okay. Vince. But you gotta call me Gomer.
Okay, Gomer.
Boy, being sick can kind of be fun when you got a good buddy to take care of you. Right, Vince?
Right, Pyle.
Gomer.
Gomer. Sit up a little, Gomer. The doctor said this might make you more comfortable. Well, you just take it easy, Gomer. Maybe read a magazine or listen to the radio. Just relax. All right, I guess you guys are wondering what's going on, why I was doing all those things for Pyle. So I'll give it to you straight. He's a lot sicker than I thought he was. An awful lot sicker.
What's wrong with him, Sarge?
The doctor didn't say. All he said was there was no hope for him.
On the level?
According to the doctor, he hasn't got very long to go. Could be any day now.
There's nothing we can do? Nothing?
Nothing. Except keep him comfortable and make his last days as happy as we can.
Sarge, is he in any pain?
You know, Pyle. Would he say anything if he was? He's probably in torture this very minute. Don't go near him. Everybody outside. How could you not? Don't nobody go back in there. You saw he's got the convulsions. Take a walk. Go to the PX, but stay out of there. I gotta speak to Lieutenant Ames right away.
Well, what seems to be the matter?
Excuse me, sir. You Lieutenant Ames?
Yes, Sergeant. Why? What seems to be the trouble?
Well, sir, I'm Sergeant Carter. Remember me? I spoke to you?
Yes. Why the panic? Anything wrong?
Well, sir, I know there's no hope, but I gotta do something. He's got the convulsions.
I didn't think it'd be this soon. Usually convulsions means the end is near at hand.
Oh, no.
I know how you feel, Sergeant. You have my deepest sympathies.
What a terrible way to go.
Yes. I've seen it many times.
Sir, what if we brought him here to the hospital? Couldn't we do that, sir?
Oh, come on, Sergeant. Maybe I have something here that'll help you. I should have one or two left. Here. Give him this pill. It may relieve some of the pain.
Give him this?
Yes, just pop it in his mouth.
How can a man swallow a pill this size?
A man can't, but a horse can. Just give him that pill. It may make his last days a little easier. Now, been quite a lucky horse at that.
A horse?
He's left a proud record. Years of faithful service to the Corps.
A horse?
Guadalcanal, Saipan, Iwo Jima, Korea. Animals like yours, Sergeant, are true heroes in every respect.
A horse?
One of our noblest creatures.
A horse?
Yes, Sergeant. A horse.
Excuse me, sir. Do you remember examining a private Gomer Pyle the other day?
Gomer Pyle. Oh, yes, yes. He had a cold virus. I told him to spend the day in his bunk. Why?
I mean, there wasn't anything serious?
A cold. Is that serious?
No, sir. Thank you, sir. A horse. It's for a horse.
How you been, so buddy? Where's everybody been? Hey, they're giving the weather report. There's a mass of cold air coming down from Canada. Night and early morning low clouds. It's a high today of 82. And did you know that the market opened steady?
All right, Pyle.
Sergeant Carter, Captain Brinson wants to see you
Right now?
right now.
All right, Pyle. You stay right where you are. Don't move an inch. I'll be right back. I got something I want to say to you.
Oh, you just take your time, good buddy. I'll wait for you.
Right over here, Sergeant. Yeah. All right, now smile.
Congratulations, Sergeant Carter. Sergeant of the Week.
Huh?
I'll read you the official citation. Sergeant Vincent Carter, Sergeant of the Week. Most highly recommended by Lieutenant C.F. Ames, medical officer, for his compassion, understanding, and deep regard for a dumb animal. Sergeant Carter sets an example worthy of the finest traditions of the Marine Corps. A leader whose exemplary behavior inspires both love and respect. Congratulations.
And a boy, Sergeant.
Hey, Vince, old buddy. What was it you wanted to say to me?
Well, nothing. I just wanted to say, hey, Gomer.
Well, hey, Vince.
Hey,
Bless you.
thank you.
Well, bless you again. Vince, you know what I think, old buddy? I think you got my cold. Hey, Sergeant Carter?
Yeah.
Hey, Sergeant, they told me you was feeling poorly. Are you coming down?
It's just a little cold. I was just taking a little nap and then back to work. In fact, I was just about to get up.
Oh, don't do that. You got to stay in bed.
No, it's all right. I'll be all right.
Now, you stay right where you are. You're sick.
Look, I've got some work I got
And
to...
you know what else? I'm here to make you comfortable. See? I brought you an apple, a piece of sugar. I ain't gonna let them flies get at you. She's life.
Look, Pyle,
You know what else? I'm gonna take care of you just like you done for me, good buddy.
Pyle.
Gomer, call me Gomer. Oh. Oh. That's sweet. That's really nice.
Okay, Gomer. Who's the letter from?
Huh?
Who's the letter from? Blonde, brunette, or redhead?
Gray.
What?
It's from my grandpa.
Grandpa?
Grandpa Pyle. My grandpa on my daddy's side. And you know what? He's coming here in his trailer and everything just to see me. You see, he travels around in a trailer. Listen to this. When I stopped at Mayberry, they said my favorite fishing partner was in the Marines. Fishing wasn't the same. I couldn't look a worm in the face without thinking of you. Ha ha.
You and your grandpa are really close, huh?
Closer than two front teeth. Grandpa and me, we done a lot of hunting and fishing and talking together. I learned a lot from Grandpa. He knows just about everything there is to know. And you know something else? He was a cavalry sergeant in World War #1.
Cavalry sergeant, huh?
In the U.S. Army. Listen to this. So you joined the Marine Corps. I thought I learned you better. Ha ha. The Doughboys used to have a joke about the Marines, but I won't tell it to you as your mama wouldn't like me to. Anyway.
All right, men. Fall into the rear of the barracks on the double.
Hey, Sergeant, I just got me a letter from my grandpa.
Swell.
He's coming here to visit.
Good.
Bless his heart.
Pile full in.
Yes.
At ease. All right. Listen up. Battalion headquarters has decided that we should find out if any of you are potential non-com or officer material. If they just asked me, I could have told them. But they decided that you should have a chance to lead this squad, to see if you can take over my job. So for the next few days, that will be our project. Each man will get a chance to lead this squad in close order drill, and I will be observing. We'll proceed alphabetically. Abrams, we'll start with you. Squad, take head! Abrams, front and center.
Nice feller, Abrams. He writes home regular, but he ain't no Sergeant Carter.
Quiet the ranks! Take charge of the squad. Right, height! Forward! Halt! 1, 2, 3, 4. On the right flank, halt! On the right flank, halt! On the right flank, halt! 1, halt! Not bad, Abrams. Not bad at all. Fall in. Next man, Bronson. Front and center.
He ain't no Sergeant Carter neither.
Quiet in the ranks.
Hey, Sergeant, can I see you a minute?
What do you want, Pyle?
Well, sir, I'd like to talk to you about my turn at leading the squad.
What's to talk about? I told you it was alphabetical. You get your turn when the P's come up. What's your hurry? Get back to your quarters.
No, Sergeant, that ain't it at all.
What is it, then?
Well, I just soon not have a turn.
Huh?
I just soon not have a turn at leading the squad.
Just like that, you just soon not have a turn.
Well, it ain't that I don't want to do it. I do, but I'm afraid I'll disappoint you, and then I'll feel just awful.
Will you really?
So even though I do want to do it, I don't think I should do it, because the way I do it, I'm sure to be doing it the way you don't want it done.
What?
I said that even though I do want to do it.
Never mind. Pyle, we are talking about a battalion order, not ladies' choice at a dancing academy. Every man in this platoon will, repeat, will, drill his squad in close order drill. You are in this platoon. You will take your turn when it comes up.
Well, I'd like to, Sergeant, but I just...
Pyle, do you know the reason for this program? It's to train you to take over. Now, what if something happened to me in combat? Who would take over?
Golly, Sergeant, if something happened to you, I just wouldn't want to go on.
Well, isn't that touching?
See, Sergeant, the reason that I'm begging off is, well, I just don't think I got them qualities of leadership. Now, followership, that's something else. I follow real good.
That's enough. You'll take your turn in this new program just like everybody else.
Yes, Sergeant. I sure follow better than I lead. Even when we used to go hunting, I don't think I...
Katie, you're the only girl that I adore. When I'm a moonshine. Come in.
Hey, Grandpa, guess who?
Gomer! Come in here, boy. Come in here, boy. Come in here. Yeah. Let me take a look at you. Let me take a look at you. Still growing. You 6 foot?
Uh-huh.
You look 6 foot. Hey, what you got in there? A anvil?
Well, you know what to say, Grandpa. The Marine Corps bills me in.
You got a weekend pass, ain't you?
Yep, I got the whole weekend.
Good. You sure growed up nice and tall.
I'm 6 foot.
You look 6 foot. Hey, Gomer, got a present for you. Right over there on the couch. That's for you.
Oh. Sweet dreams from the Grand Canyon. Ain't that pretty? Oh, and it's got a picture of it, too.
Yeah, I was there a couple of weeks ago. That's a big ditch, son.
Sure is pretty, Grandpa. Thank you. It's real thoughtful of you.
Oh, it ain't nothing. Let's settle down. Get to talking about that there Marine Corps you in. How you getting along?
Well, tolerable, just tolerable. Today wasn't a very good day.
Why? What happened?
Well, we got this new program where each man gets to close order drill the squad. What they're doing is they're looking out for fellers that could take over in case they had to.
Good, good. What's the problem?
Well, I ain't got no leadership to display.
What?
True, Grandpa.
For goodness sakes. Gomer, the Pyles has been known as leaders for generations.
Well, not me. I just couldn't get out there in front of all them men and pretend I'm the sergeant.
Tell me one thing. Would you like to be able to do it?
Sure. I'd like to more than anything. But I know I can't. I just ain't got the beller for it.
Gomer, stop talking like that. It ain't befitting a Pyle. I'll show you how to beller out them orders.
Grandpa, I don't know. I just can't start
Son,
doing...
it's easy. You gotta make it come from down here. Now listen. Prepare to mount. Now. Come on, get up, try it. Get up now and try it. Go on.
Prepare to mount. Mount.
Little lower now. Little lower. Draw sabers.
Draw sabers.
Little lower. Little lower. Bugler, blow, charge.
Bugler, blow, charge. See, don't that sound just awful?
No, it don't. It's just that, well, you need a little practice before you can practice. Tell you what, we'll work on it over the weekend. I'll get you some people to drill with.
Who would you get?
Why, I'll get well, I don't know, but I'll get you some people now. You can do it, son. Oh, you can too, a big boy like you, 6 foot. You're 6 foot, ain't you?
Uh-huh.
You look 6 foot.
Grandpa, I don't know about this.
Go on, boy. You can do it. Try it. Go on. They're waiting for you. Put them through their paces.
Squad, attention. That means attention. Y'all all got to stand up straight. Left, face. No. Everybody's got to turn this way. That's right. Forward, march. No, that means y'all all got to move out in that direction. That way. Come in here. Everybody, come back over here. Everybody get back over here and stand here.
You know what's the matter? You're too easy on them. Now, them troops you're going to drill are just like these kids here. You got to show them who's boss. Watch. All right, straighten up them ranks there. You down there, get that smile off your face. Suck in your stomach. Stand up straight. I'm talking to you. Pay attention to me. You hear me? Hey, come back here. Come on back here.
You bellered so loud, Grandpa, you scared the troops clean off.
Well, at least they know they've been bellered at. And you can do it too, boy.
I'll sure try, Grandpa.
You can do it too. You're a big boy. You're 6 foot, ain't you?
Uh-huh.
You look 6 foot. Better get back in the trailer.
Forward, cat, here! Forward, here! Help, help, hold your lil, hey, lil. Left flag, here! To the right flag, here! Left go blip, here! Forward, here!
Golly, Duke. You sure can bell her. I wish I could do that, but I know I messed it up.
You gotta stop worrying about it, kid.
All right, all out, close order drill. That means you too, Pyle. Especially you.
Come on, Gomer, you can do it. Come on.
One, two, right, hey.
Oliver, that was good. That was real good. Of course, you ain't me, but then who is? All in. At ease. Now, let's see who we're down to. Pyle. Front and center. Take charge of the squad.
Hey, fellers. Forward. March. Ain't moving.
They're still at ease.
Oh, I forgot. Squad. Attention. Right face. Right face. Right face. Right face. At ease.
Pyle, march 'em. Drill 'em.
What? Attention. Right face. Forward. March. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the rear. March. To the rear. March. To the rear. March. Rear march. To the rear. March. To the rear. March. To the rear. March. To the rear. March.
Give 'em something else.
Right flank. March. Wait, whoa. Stop.
Halt! Halt!
Oh. Let's face it, Grandpa. There's no two ways about it. I'm just a failure as a leader.
Now, you stop saying that. You ain't a failure. You're a good, strong boy. You got a good head on your shoulders. You're 6 foot. It's just one thing that you don't have. One little thing. And that's confidence. And now, son, there's where I can help you.
I don't know, Grandpa. If you don't have confidence, nobody can give it to you.
Well, I don't know about that. Gomer, we ain't licked yet. All you need is confidence. Confidence. Yes, sir, my boy, with a little confidence, you can do anything. Anything. And this is going to give it to you.
What's that? Excelsior.
That's right. Excelsior means high, up, up. Gomer, would it surprise you to know that that was the emblem of my daddy's regiment in the Spanish-American War?
No.
Rode up San Juan Hill attached to your great-grandpa's saddle, right alongside of Colonel Teddy.
This here emblem?
That there emblem.
Shazam. Great-granddaddy Pyle was a brave man, wasn't he?
Brave leader. Gomer, you know, when I first went into World War I never had a dime's worth of confidence. I was just as scared as you are.
Oh, that couldn't be, Grandpa.
Oh, yes. Until my daddy gave me this. He said, as long as you have that, you'll be a leader. And I carried it, and I was. That little emblem right there.
You mean it's magical like?
Well, that's one way to describe it. Just put it in your pocket. Now, recollect, son, that ain't no ordinary piece of metal you got there. When that was attached to your great-grandpa's saddle, he was fighting his way up San Juan Hill. yard by yard, fighting like a man inspired. Colonel Teddy turned to him. He says, Pyle, you're fighting like a man inspired. That's what he said. Bullets was a-flying every which way. Men was turning back, but not your great-grandpa. And when the smoke of battle cleared, there he was, planting old glory smack on top of San Juan Hill. And that little emblem you got in your pocket was with him every step of the way. Now, can you tell me that having that emblem don't make you feel no difference? Don't you feel about 10 foot tall?
I do, Grandpa. I declare I do.
You look 10 foot. Try a couple of commands.
Squad to hut. Right. Hey, did you hear that, Grandpa?
I sure did, boy. You know, with that in your pocket, when you get out there to drill them troops, you'll make that Sergeant Carter look like a recruit.
Right.
What's the matter, son?
Just happened to think, Grandpa, you only get one chance at leading a squad, and I've already had mine.
Well, don't you worry. You'll get a second chance.
But how?
Well, I don't know, but things has a way of happening to folks that has that emblem.
How?
Yes, sir.
Come in. Come in, sir. What can I do for you?
I'd like to talk to you, Sergeant.
Yes, sir. Let me get you a chair.
No need to get a chair. I'll just stand.
Well, I just thought you'd be more comfortable.
The only time I'm more comfortable sitting down, Sergeant, is on a horse. You can sit down if you're tired.
No, I'm not tired.
You spend quite a lot of time behind the desk, don't you, Sergeant?
Not any more than most. I mean...
You know, it's funny. You're shorter than I figured you'd be. How tall are you?
Huh?
You 6 foot?
No, I'm...
You don't look 6 foot. Of course, you make up for it by being bigger around the waist.
I always keep myself in perfect physical condition.
In my days, sergeants was tough as hardtack. Of course, you're in pretty good shape. For the shape you're in.
Look, would you mind telling me what you want to talk to me about? And I didn't get the name.
Pyle. Sergeant Otis Pyle. U.S. Cavalry, retired.
Pyle? You mean...
Gomer's grandpa, that's right. You know, the reason I come over to talk to you, Sergeant, after hearing Gomer talk, I decided you was the brightest non-com around. And now that I've met you, I'm sure of it.
Huh?
The way you keep them young fellers from having a chance to take over is a work of genius.
What? Now, wait a minute. I give him a chance. Right now, we're conducting leadership tests.
Oh, gosh.
What?
You see, old Army game, you give them one chance. And if you see they're beginning to catch on, you slam the door. Huh? Is that it?
Beginning to catch... Look, that grandson of yours, he had his chance, and you know what he did? He blew it.
Of course he did. And not giving him a second chance is a smart way to play it.
Now, just a minute.
You might be a little soft around the middle, but not up where it counts.
Your grandson will get a second chance. Tomorrow is an inspection day. The men will have their rifles. He will really get a chance. And it will be a pleasure to see what he does with it. A real pleasure. And it will also be a pleasure to have you as my personal guest, Mr. Pyle.
Sergeant Pyle, U.S. Cavalry, retired.
Pyle, front and center. All right, Private. They're all yours.
What? T-hut. Right. Hey.
Hurry it up, Pyle.
Right shoulder. Forward. wait.
To the rear, hard. One, ho! Forward, hard. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, push. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the right flank, push. On the left flank, push. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Gosh, Grandpa, I can't thank you enough for all you done for me.
I just done what one good soldier would do for another.
Well, I don't know. If you hadn't brought great-granddaddy's good luck piece for me, it sure done the trick.
You think that emblem was what done it, huh?
Of course it was, Grandpa.
Well, I don't know about that. Come over here, Gomer. Let me have it.
Ain't you gonna let me carry it in my pocket no more?
Yeah, he won't be needing it no more. Let's put it back where it belongs.
Shazam!
That's right. Now that you know what you can do, you won't be lacking confidence no more.
Then it wasn't great-granddaddy's emblem that made me do it at all.
No, and it wasn't some dinkus off a refrigerator door, neither. Just recollect, son. It ain't what you got in your pocket that counts. It's what you got in there.
Shazam! Hey, Dee, looky here. It's a letter from Grandpa.
Good.
You won't read it?
No.
Then I'll read it to you. Dear grandson, it was sure good to visit you at the Marine Corps base. I am glad I got to meet your sergeant. Always remember, boy, there is one man who will always stand behind you no matter what, and who will help you with your problems no matter how big or small. And that man is me, your grandpa. As for your fat-headed sergeant, just follow his loudmouth orders and you will be all right. I hope to come back in a few weeks and see how you are doing. Hey, Sergeant. Letter from Grandpa. You want to read it?
And you slowed down to a crawl. Probably the trouble is you missed them nice long hikes we used to take. You know, them nice long walks in the country. Look at that. What are you, gaining weight?
Well, this Navy food sure is good, Sergeant. They must use different spices, like that lamb we had last night.
Pyle, when are you going to learn not to talk in ranks?
I'm sorry, Sergeant. I thought you asked me a question.
I did not ask a question. And if I do ask a question, I do not want you to answer it. You understand?
Well, is that a question? If it is, the answer is yes. If it's...
Knock it off! Now, hear this and hear it good. We are Marines on a Navy ship. From now on, we're going to shape up and look and act like Marines. And to start getting you guys back in condition, we're going to have a daily program of good, strong exercise. That's right, to get rid of the fat and the sluggishness. So, when you're dismissed here, you will suit up in sweatsuits and report to me in the gym in 5 minutes. Now, Pyle, what do you think you're doing?
I got something in my eye, Sergeant.
So you got something in your eye. All right.
Well, it hurts, Sergeant.
Well, pull the upper lid over the lower lid and just wipe it out. Now, I'm going to start an athletic program that will get each one of you men squared away. I want it.
That don't work, Sergeant.
What?
Pulling the upper lid over the lower lid.
All right. Take, hut! Hair smash! All right, Pyle, let me look at it. All right, come around to the light.
You know I can see my reflection right in your eye.
Swell. Here, blow your nose.
What?
Blow your nose.
Well, what's this? What's this? You see that, boys? They blow their noses for 'em. Isn't that nice?
Say, Sarge, do you tie their shoes for him, too?
Why, he never. We tie our own.
Well,
Oh, you tie your own shoes. They have to tie their own shoes.
But he does do a lot of other nice things for us.
Yeah, like what?
Well, like once when we was on a hike, I turned my ankle, and he carried me all the way home in his arms. Remember, Sergeant?
Is that right?
He sure did, just like I was a baby. Didn't you, Sergeant?
Gee, the next thing you know, he'll be saying he tucked you in bed, too.
Well, as a matter of fact, one time when I had the flu...
dismiss, Pyle.
Well, it was a kind of human thing to do, Sergeant.
Dismiss, Pyle. Dismiss. Dismiss.
Yes, sir.
Gee, tucked him in bed. Isn't that precious? Tucked him in bed!
Okay, next. Pyle Lombardi, come on, mix it up. Well, come on, mix it up, mix it up. Come on, Pyle, go to the body, the body. This looks like a waltz contest. Give me them gloves. Sure, Sergeant.
You can have mine too, Sergeant.
No, you keep yours on. I want to show you something. You guys are dancing around like you never saw a fight or a pair of gloves in your whole life. All right, come on, get over there. All right. Now, first, I want to show you how to throw a jab. You stand like this, see? Your chin behind your shoulder, and you shoot that left out, like that. Like this, see? Jab! Jab!
Boy, it sure is slick, Sergeant. Well, hey there, Chief.
All right, now, you got that? Your shoulder high. Jab! Jab!
Boy, that's slick.
Well, am I doing it right?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, Sergeant, not quite.
You think you can do it better?
Yeah, I think so. Hey, give me a left glove, will you, Private? Now, you see, Sergeant, here, your foot position is okay, but when you throw your jab, you got your left elbow up too high. See, that's okay for a hook. But for a jab, no. Jab, you cock your arm back like this and shoot out like a piston. See?
Shazam! That sure is neat, Chief.
Well, it's no different than the way I throw it. Look.
Golly, Sergeant, that's real neat, too.
Come on, Sergeant, let him settle it. Which one of those two punches was the best, Private?
Golly, Chief, it's kind of hard to say. They was both just as nice as could be.
Wow, mine was the hardest, wasn't it?
Well, maybe it was.
Come on, Sergeant, you couldn't break an egg with that jab of yours.
Maybe I couldn't break an egg, but I sure could make an impression on your chin.
You really think so?
You bet I do.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
Well, there's one way to find out.
I thought you'd never ask. Pyle, give him that glove.
No, wait, I got a better idea.
Yeah, I'll bet you do. Okay, if you're scared, forget it.
I'm not scared. I'm not backing out, but here's the way it is, see? The boys are having a smoker up on deck Friday night, and we're having some bouts, see? Now, if you want to fight me, why don't we settle it there? I mean, why waste it here in the gym? Let everybody in on it. What do you say, Sarge?
Up on deck? In front of the whole ship?
Sure, go ahead, Sergeant. Take him up on it.
Yeah, okay, sure, why not? I'll fight you here or at the smoker. What difference does it make?
Okay, Sarge, we got a deal. It's you and me in the main event at the smoker Friday night. That ought to give the boys a kick. Okay, buddy, I'll see you then. And don't forget to show up now.
Hey, Sergeant, do you think you can whoop him?
Oh, sure he can.
Sure you can, yeah.
You'll be fighting in front of the whole ship.
So I'll be fighting in front of the whole ship. I'm no rank amateur, you know.
You mean you've had some fights, Sergeant?
What do you think? Listen, I'll tell you something. I was the welterweight champ in junior high.
Is that right, Sergeant? You was a champion?
Sure, there were 65 guys in the class, too. Killer Carter, they called me. My gym teacher thought I should turn pro. He said my right was better than Lewis's.
Joe Lewis?
No, Louis Patman. He was a champ in the class ahead of me. Well, listen, I'd keep this quiet if I were you fellas, because if Simpson finds out, he's liable to try to back out. It's too bad this ain't a pro fight, fellas.
Why's that, Sergeant?
Well, I mean, you might be able to pick up a few bucks. You know, betting on me.
Hey, what's to stop us?
Well, it wouldn't be too ethical for your sergeant to suggest something like that, especially with me being the favorite. Oh, boy, I can't wait till Friday.
Golly, Killer Carter.
How much you got, Frankie?
$13. How much you got?
Good. 22. Now, if we can just find some suckers to bet with.
I don't know about this betting. I never did believe much in that.
Gomer, it was the sergeant who gave us the idea.
Yeah, Gomer, he was almost telling us to do it.
But only if it was a professional fight, he said.
Gomer, please, don't spoil it.
Shouldn't we tell him that Sergeant Carter was the champion of his school?
No. Whatever you do, don't tell him that.
But he was.
I know, but if they find out Carter's an experienced boxer, they'll want odds.
But we ought to tell him the truth. The chief ought to know who he's fighting. He might get himself hurt.
Gomer, you know what they say. All's fair in love and war, and this is war, sort of.
Hey, Duke. Look over there.
Hey, good place to find some suckers. Let's get over there.
Yeah, good idea.
I don't know. I don't think it's right to bet.
Come on.
Sure hits that thing hard like a hammer.
Yeah.
He handles that bag pretty good, don't he?
Yeah.
You have some fights before he's in the Navy?
You put me on Mac.
Huh.
Don't you know about the chief? Fleet champ for 4 years. 37 knockouts. He only quit because nobody'd fight him.
He was a fleet champ for 4 years. The only reason he quit is because he couldn't find anybody to fight with.
That's better than being junior high school champ, ain't it?
I'd say so, lots better. Come on, we better get out of here. Let's find Sergeant Carter and tell him what he's walking into. Come on.
Yeah, we better.
Hiya, fellas. Hey, watch this. The old 1-2. Pump them! Pump! Slick, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's real good.
Yeah, I'm really getting back in shape.
Sergeant, we were...
Now, don't tell me if you're putting any bets down on me. I mean, I don't want to hear anything about gambling. Anything you do like that, well, it's strictly up to you.
Sergeant, what we're trying to tell you is we were watching the chief train up on deck.
Yeah? What's this, huh? I used to be able to do that every time. Pum, pum.
Sergeant, what Dick was trying to tell you is we was up on the deck watching the chief train for quite a while.
Yeah, he's got him, huh? That's smart. Where's the weak, huh? His hook's right where?
No place.
Huh?
That's right. It's not a weak spot on him. It's all hair and muscle.
What are you guys trying to tell me?
Well, the fact is, Sarge, we found out the chief was fleet champ for 4 years. He only quit because nobody would fight him.
Yeah?
Yeah, and he's got 37 knockouts.
Okay, so he was a fleet champ. So what?
Well, you might be outclassed, Sergeant. It might be too one-sided.
What?
Sergeant, I think it'd be to your credit if you spoke up and said, "This fight is unfair. My opponent is a stronger and better fighter than I am, and I think it's silly to fight him." That'd be to your credit.
Are you kidding?
But, Sarge, it's not a match. I think nobody would blame you if you came down with a bad cold or something.
Look, if I didn't know better, I'd think that chief sent you guys over here to scare me. Out, out, I don't want to hear anymore. Get out. Out, 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 out. Out, 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 out. Get out of here. Out, 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 out.
You know what I'm thinking, you guys?
Uh-huh. Sergeant Carter's gonna get himself killed. Killed. That's just what Sergeant Carter's gonna get himself if he's killed.
Yeah, Gomer, I'm worried about him, too. He could get himself hurt bad.
Well, why he's so stubborn? Everybody'd understand if he'd just speak up and say, I do not wish to fight someone so much better than I am. So for that reason,
Gomer,
I am...
forget it. Look, you know he's not going to do that.
Yeah. You know, you guys, I'm wondering, maybe if we can't get through to the sergeant, we can get through to the chief.
How do you mean?
I mean psychological warfare.
Huh?
The old war of nerves. We'll gaslight him.
How do you do that?
We scare him to death, and maybe he'll back out. We'll have to get some of the rest of the guys in on it, but it might just work. Yeah, psychological warfare. It's our only hope.
Well, look who's here. The boys in green.
I bet the sergeant's pretty green about now, right, fellas?
You know, maybe after this fight, we'll get to see our first burial at sea.
You fellers sure crack a good joke.
What do you guys want?
Well, the guys in our platoon got together and pooled all their money and sent us over here to find out if you guys might be interested in making a little bet on the fight.
A bet?
You mean you guys want to bet on Carter?
Well, sure. You don't think we bet on anybody else, do you?
I'd like some of that action.
Yeah, me too. How much you guys got?
$220.
I don't know if we can cover all that. Suppose you guys want the odds? 5-1?
5-1? Oh, no, that's too high. We couldn't possibly give him 5-1, could we, Frankie?
Oh, no.
No, I'm sorry, fellas. Best we could give you is 4-1. Take it or leave it.
Wait a minute. You want to give us 4-1 odds? Make Carter the favorite?
Yeah. After all, our sergeant's an ex-champ.
He's an ex-champ?
That's right. He beat 65 guys back when he was...
Back in the days when he was fighting welterweight. 65 wins.
What?
What do you say?
Wait a minute. What about those 65 wins?
Nothing. You want to bet or don't you?
What 65 guys did he beat?
Do you want to bet?
At 4-1? Okay, we'll take the whole thing. Come on, guys. Get your money together. Right here. Let's go. Come on.
Hey, Gomer, look. They're putting up the money. You said they'd be too scared to bet.
I did?
Sure. You said they probably heard about Killer Carter. Remember?
What's this about Killer Carter?
Nothing. Get your dough together.
No. Wait a minute. What were you saying about Killer Carter?
That's what they used to call him. His coach thought he should turn pro, said his right was better than Lewis's.
Gomer, that's enough. You got your money together? We ain't got all day.
Yeah, we got it right here. $55. Now, what's this about Killer Carter?
Nothing. Well, here's our dough. Hey, we'll let you hold it. We trust you, see? But you keep it handy because we're going to be coming for it right after the fight, okay? Come on, you guys. Let's go, Gomer. Can I help you guys?
Oh, we just came out to see Carter train.
Oh, I'm sorry, fellas. I can't do it. I got my orders. Sergeant's sparring. He doesn't want to see any visitors.
So what? It won't hurt to take a look.
Sorry.
Take it easy, Sarge.
I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. It's deceitful.
Just one more, Gomer. Ready?
No! I ain't sparring with him no more. I've had it.
Don't worry, George. In a day or two, you'll be as good as new.
Man, listen to that bag. Sarge sure has fast hands. I'll say that for him. Yeah, fast hands.
Well, how long can he keep that up? He's been at it for 20 minutes.
All day, buddy. All day. You like that 1, 2?
1, 2. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9.
What's this? I'm a 6-1 underdog?
Well, you should see this guy train, Chief. He's been murdering his sparring partners. You ought to hear him on that heavy bag.
No, wait a minute. You guys forgetting I was the fleet champ?
Well, that was a couple of years ago, Chief.
You might have slowed up a little since then.
What? Slowed up? That's a joke. I'd like to put down $10 at 6-1 if I could get anybody to take the bet.
I'll take it, Chief.
Come on. I gotta see this guy for myself. Come on.
Okay, on your toes. Here comes the chief. Get going.
Deceitful.
Gomer, just try and remember it's to save your dear sergeant's life. Will you please keep remembering that?
Well.
Here, put this in your mouth. Okay.
What do you mean I can't go inside? You can't keep me out of there.
Please, kid. It's for your own good. Sergeant's worked himself up to such a pitch. If he sees you, he'll go for you right now. He won't even wait till tomorrow night.
Look, that's okay with me. If he wants it now, I'll give it to him now.
No, Chief, you can't. You might get hurt. Well, don't worry, Leonard. You'll be eating solid food again in no time, pal.
Chief, if you still want that bet, I'll make it 10-1. Hey, Chief.
You should have seen his face. Did it work? Like a charm. It worked.
It's deceitful, just plain deceitful. I know. It's to save Sergeant Carter's life.
Oh, he was gaslit, all right. If anybody was gaslit, it was him. You see, Gomer, psychological warfare. It's the only thing that can save the Sarge. Yep, the old war of nerves. It works every time.
Hey, Sergeant Carter.
What's going on here, huh?
Hey, fellas, I think it worked. Did you see the Chief's?
Well, come on, what's going on here? What is all this? Talk, somebody, talk. You were talking pretty good when I came in, Slater. Keep going.
Oh, well?
Yeah, I'm waiting.
You see, we was using psychological warfare.
What?
That's what you do when another fella is stronger than you are and is liable to beat your brains out.
Huh?
So we gave him the gaslight.
Who? What are you talking about, anyway?
Well, Chief Simpson, you see, we was real worried about you, and you wouldn't back out, so we couldn't let you go in there and get hurt.
So?
So we threw a little scare into him, that's all.
Yeah? How'd you do that?
Well, first of all the guys got together and put up all their money, and we went over and betted on you.
Yeah, and we gave those sailors 4-to-1 odds.
You gave them 4-to-1 odds? On me?
Well, it shook them up pretty good. And then we pretended this was your training camp and you were knocking everybody out.
You guys bet all the dough you have? And gave 4-to-1? Well, you can lose the whole wad.
Oh, we didn't care about that as long as it was going to help you. I personally thought it was a deceitful thing to do, but, well, as long as it was going to help out.
You guys did all that for me? You know something, fellas? I'll level with you. I was kind of worried about fighting that guy. But not anymore. That gaslighting worked on me, too. What you guys did is giving me strength, confidence. You know what I'm gonna do now? I'm gonna fight that guy like nobody ever fought before. And I'm gonna knock him out. And you know why?
Why, Sergeant?
Because you guys care.
Boy, the sergeant's really a picture of health, ain't he? He's even got roses in his cheek.
I'll tell you one thing, Gomer. Many a fight's been won on sheer confidence.
Yeah, the Sarge has plenty of that.
He sure has.
Bless his heart.
How do you feel, Sarge?
And now, the feature bout of the evening. In this corner, weighing 162.5, wearing gold trunks, the pride of the Marines, Sergeant Vince Killer Carter. And in this corner, weighing 171, wearing white trunks, the former fleet champion, Wayne Rattlesnake Simpson.
What do you think, Duke?
Well, like I said, Gomer, that confidence the sergeant was talking about, it could make the difference. And he's got it.
Bless his heart.
Touch gloves and come out fighting.
The Tropical Tyrant of Mount Misery, a novel of nautical incompetence and sunny sabotage. Prologue. The humidity of hopelessness. The archipelago of Zongo was a place where the sun didn't just shine. It interrogated you. Specifically, it interrogated the sanity of anyone wearing a military uniform. On the remote island outpost of Mount Misery, the humidity was so thick you could carve it into blocks and sell it as damp furniture. It was here that the finest military minds, and several minds that had been left out in the rain too long, were stationed during the great global tiff. At the center of this sweltering circus was Commodore Barnaby the Blaster Blythe. Barnaby was a man whose blood pressure was roughly the same temperature as a boiling tea kettle, and whose leadership style could be described as panic-stricken authoritarianism. Chapter 1. The Indigestion of Doom. Barnaby Blythe sat in his office, staring at a requisition form for garter belts. "Garter belts," he bellowed, his voice cracking like a dry whip. "Sterling, you are the supply officer here. If the medical nurses require specialized leg retention hosiery, you don't file a report. You snap to it. You shake a leg. Metaphorically or literally, I don't care." Across the desk sat Captain Silas Sly Sterling. Silas was a man who lived in a state of perpetual relaxation that bordered on the medical. His uniform was less of a garment and more of a suggestion. Beside him stood Lieutenant Pip Pumpernickel, a man so nervous he could vibrate through solid walls if he drank a second cup of coffee. "We're on it, Commodore," Silas said, leaning back until his chair groaned in protest. "Pip here has been scouting the black market. We're thinking of trading 3 crates of Spam for 24 units of leg snappers." "I don't care about Spam," Barnaby screamed. Then his face suddenly went pale. A messenger had just dropped a cable on his desk. "Oh no, no. Ironhide Hammerstrike, the High Admiral. He's coming, today." A sneak inspection. Barnaby clutched his stomach. His acid reflux was legendary. It was rumored he could melt a hole through a destroyer's hull just by breathing on it. "Look at this place. The sinks in the officers' club are backing up. The men are wearing grass skirts. And the High Admiral is the kind of man who once court-martialed a seagull for flying in a disorganized formation. Sir." "Take it easy on the pills," Pip Pumpernickel squeaked. "You know they give you those hallucinations." Barnaby ignored him. A wicked, desperate idea began to form in his fevered mind. Wait. If I was sick, truly, medically incapacitated, I wouldn't have to face Hammerstrike. I could appoint an acting base commander to take the heat. Someone expendable. Someone the Admiral will hate so much that he'll forget I even exist. He looked at Silas Sterling. A slow, terrifying grin spread across Barnaby's face. "Silas, my dear boy, you look terribly sick." "Don't I look sick to you, Pip? You look like you've been buried and dug back up, sir," Pip said honestly. "Perfect. Call the medic. I'm going into a coma. A temporary, convenient coma." Barnaby collapsed onto his desk with the grace of a falling sack of wet flour. "Oh, the pain. The agony. Sterling, you're in charge. Take my office. Take the Admiral. God help you." Chapter 2. The Reign of the Mangroves. Silas Sterling didn't mind being acting base commander. It meant he had access to the Commodore's private stash of imported ginger ale and a chair that didn't have a spring poking into his left kidney. His crew, a group of miscreants known as the Mangroves, immediately treated the administrative building like a luxury hotel. Gulliver, the cook, was using the top-secret filing cabinet to store his homemade tropical moonshine. Twitch, the radio operator, was trying to identify a radar blip that turned out to be a very large, confused albatross. Pip Pumpernickel, now the acting executive officer, was hyperventilating into a paper bag. "Silas, the phone is ringing. It's the nurses. They want their garter belts, and the chief petty officer says the sinks are still backing up. He wants to know if we have a plumber." "Tell him I'm an officer, not a pipe monkey," Silas said, feet up on the desk. And tell the nurses the garter belts are being delivered by our high-speed courier. Also, tell them the green ones were out of stock, so we're sending camouflage. Just then, Twitch burst in. Track it. If it's a sub, give it a positive ID. If it's a turtle, tell Gulliver we're having soup. Silas barked, enjoying the role, but the fun ended when the door swung open to reveal a man who looked like he had been carved out of granite and then dipped in vinegar. It was High Admiral Hammerstrike. What in the name of the seven seas is going on here? Hammerstrike roared. He looked at Silas, who was currently wearing a Hawaiian shirt under his captain's jacket. Are you the commanding officer of this beach party? Acting, sir. Where is Blythe? Hammerstrike demanded, poking Silas in the chest with a finger that felt like a marlin spike. In the hospital, sir, Silas said smoothly. A tragic case of tropical gout, mixed with a bit of scurvy. Very contagious. You probably shouldn't visit. Gout? In a base, Commander. Disgraceful. Hammerstrike stomped his foot. I want an inspection. Now. Start with the air raid shelter. Silas froze. The air raid shelter was currently being used by the mangroves to host a cultural exchange dance featuring several local hula performers and a significant amount of Gulliver's moonshine. Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Swindle. While Silas was trying to distract Hammerstrike with a tour of the base laundry, which was just a pile of wet rags in a bucket, the Commodore was busy recovering in the hospital. However, Barnaby's plan hit a snag when the Admiral decided to visit the hospital anyway, mostly to yell at Barnaby for being sick. But a new complication arrived. The Grand Vizier of Xanadu. The Vizier was a man of immense wealth, and even more immense pride. He was traveling with his 3 daughters, the princesses of the moon. Their plane had developed engine trouble and landed at Mount Misery. Barnaby, seeing an opportunity to look important, jumped out of his deathbed and into his uniform. Admiral, forget my illness. We must welcome the Grand Vizier. It is a matter of international diplomacy. Silas and the mangroves were sent to retrieve the Vizier. On the boat ride back, Silas decided to let the Vizier drive the PT boat. It's simple. Your Highness, Silas said, leaning against the rail. Just steer toward that big rock. But, don't hit it. The Vizier was thrilled. Wowie, wow, wow, he exclaimed. Is that a Xanaduyan blessing, sir? Silas asked. No, it is the sound a chicken makes when it is surprised, the Vizier replied. In my country, we respect the chicken. The peace was shattered when Barnaby Blythe arrived at the dock, desperate to take over. Out of the way, Sterling. Your Highness, allow me to escort you to a dinner of the highest quality. I have prepared a feast, but the dinner was a disaster. The Vizier's daughters wanted to dance. Barnaby, convinced that one of the daughters was actually one of Silas's men in a wig, a reasonable assumption, given the mangrove's history, decided to expose the impostor. He marched up to the most beautiful princess and grabbed her veil. Aha! I know it's you, Gulliver. I'd recognize those hairy ankles anywhere, the princess screamed. The Vizier drew a ceremonial scimitar. You debase the dignity of Xanadu. The Vizier bellowed. I shall report this to the Pentagon, to the President, to the King of England. Wait, I thought she was a cook. Barnaby stammered, backed into a corner by a very sharp blade. Chapter 4. The Laughing Gas Gambit. Barnaby's humiliation led to a vengeful streak. He decided to court-martial Pip Pumpernickel for general incompetence and looking too much like a startled rabbit. A fitness board, Barnaby declared. We will break Pumpernickel down to the rank of seaman second class. He'll be scrubbing barnacles off the pier with his own teeth. Silas knew he had to save Pip. The mangroves gathered in the jungle to hatch a plan. We need to get the Commodore in a good mood, Gulliver suggested. Maybe we give him some of my moonshine? No, Silas said, eyes sparkling. Remember when I went to the dentist last week? The nitrous oxide? Laughing gas? Skip. You're a genius, Twitch said. The plan was simple. the mangroves would spray for tropical flies outside the Commodore's window. In reality, they would be pumping pure laughing gas into his office. As the fitness board convened, with a stern admiral sitting in the corner, the gas began to drift in. Barnaby was in the middle of a scathing indictment of Pip's character, and furthermore, Barnaby said, his voice suddenly sounding an octave higher, "This man is he's a real silly Billy, isn't he?" The admiral stared. "Commodore?" Barnaby began to giggle. "I mean, look at his hat. It's so floppy. Giggle, giggle." "Pip, you're such a cutie pie." "Admiral, why are you looking so grumpy? Give us a smile." Barnaby then proceeded to do a soft shoe dance on the table, singing a song about a lonely octopus. "Is he drugged?" The admiral whispered to Silas. "Hallucinations, sir." Silas sighed. "I told you, the tropical gout affects the brain. He thinks he's a ballerina." Barnaby then tried to hug the admiral, calling him Ironhide Winky. The fitness board was immediately cancelled, and Barnaby was dragged back to the hospital, humming a show tune. Chapter 5. The Phantom of the PT-13. Superstition is a powerful thing on a naval base. When Silas and his men were assigned a new boat, the PT-13, they were horrified. "13?" Gulliver gasped. "It's a jinx ship." I heard the first crew all turned into fish, and the second crew was eaten by a giant squid. Barnaby, who had finally stopped giggling, saw this as his chance. He forged a document claiming the PT-13 was haunted by the ghost of a drowned cook. He hoped to scare the mangroves into requesting a transfer to the most dangerous part of the ocean. But Silas was 3 steps ahead. "If the Commodore wants a ghost ship," Silas told his crew, "we'll give him a haunting he'll never forget." That night, Barnaby and Twitch, who was acting as Barnaby's reluctant spy, crept down to the dock. Suddenly, the engines of the PT-13 roared to life on their own. The guns began to fire toward the moon. A glowing, green figure appeared on the deck. It was Pip Pumpernickel, covered in bioluminescent jellyfish slime and hanging from a fishing line. "Barnaby," the ghost wailed. "Give us the payroll. The dead need to buy lunch." Barnaby screamed. He ran so fast he actually skipped across the surface of the water for 3 steps before sinking. He was found the next morning hiding in a locker, insisting that a jellyfish had told him to cancel all his military orders. Chapter 6. The Bayou Bandit and the Payroll. The final straw came when the base payroll, $62,000 in small, unmarked bills, went missing. Barnaby had set a trap. He left his wallet in the jungle, hoping Silas would steal it. But a local inhabitant got there first. Barnaby the Beast, a 12-foot alligator with a taste for leather. When Barnaby the human found his ID card in Silas's possession, he called for a court-martial. "You stole the payroll," Barnaby screamed. "And my wallet. I'm telling you." The court-martial was a circus. Silas brought the alligator muzzled and very annoyed into the courtroom as a key witness. "Sir, this alligator is a law-abiding citizen," Silas told the judge. "He just likes the taste of peanut butter sandwiches, which Pip here happened to be eating when the payroll went missing." "Order!" the judge shouted. Just then, the alligator let out a massive belch. Out of its mouth tumbled a canvas bag. The judge opened it. It was the $62,000, along with a pair of Barnaby's missing garter belts and a half-eaten ham sandwich. "Aha!" Barnaby, the human, shouted. "Actually, sir," the judge said, looking at the documents inside the bag, "these bills are marked. It seems the Commodore was trying to frame his own officers using government funds." Barnaby's jaw dropped. I was just testing their honesty." "In the brig, Commodore," the judge ruled, "and give that alligator a medal." Epilogue. The sun sets on Mount Misery. Barnaby Blythe was sentenced to a month of administrative duty in a base where the only technology was a pencil and a very angry goat. Silas Sterling and the mangroves returned to their PT boat. They sat on the deck, feet dangling in the water, sipping Gulliver's latest batch of jungle juice. Barnaby the Beast, the alligator, floated nearby, waiting for a piece of peanut butter toast. "You know, Pip, Silas said, looking at the orange sun sinking into the Pacific. Being a hero is a lot of work. I think I'd rather just be a pirate. Skip, Pip said, finally stopping his shaking. But at least we have the garter belts. Wowie, wow, wow, Gulliver added. And somewhere in the distance, a chicken made a very surprised sound. Dend, The Chronicles of Emerald Island, The Misadventures of the Sea Rats, Prologue, A Turbulent Paradis. The Emerald Island Naval Station was, in theory, a strategic jewel of the Blue Water Archipelago. In reality, it was a humid, mosquito-infested, bureaucratic nightmare located precisely nowhere that mattered. At the center of this storm of incompetence was Commodore Barnaby Iron Stomach Blight. Blight was a man whose blood was 40% caffeine, 50% stomach acid, and 10% pure, unadulterated spite. He spent his days obsessing over two things: the missing shipment of lace-trimmed garter belts for the base's nursing staff, and the utter destruction of Commander Jax the Fox Sterling. Jax Sterling was the commander of the Stinger 4-2, a modified patrol boat manned by a crew known as the Sea Rats. They were the finest sailors in the fleet, provided the fleet was a collection of pirates, gamblers, and gourmet moonshine distillers. They were a thorn in Blight's side, a thorn that occasionally enjoyed surfing during torpedo drills. Chapter 1. The Feigned Fatalities. The crisis began on a Tuesday that smelled of salt and impending doom. Wow. Wow, 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 Blight screamed, slamming his fist onto his mahogany desk, which rattled the pills in his desk drawer. Twitch! Get in here! Lieutenant Oliver Twitch Pringle, a man whose primary combat skill was accidentally tripping over his own shoelaces, stumbled into the office. Sir, the supply officer reports the garter belts are still in transit, sir. Apparently, the shipment was diverted to a burlesque troupe in Singapore. I don't care about the burlesque troops, Blight shrieked. I have just received word that Grand Marshal Steeljaws Stone is arriving for a surprise inspection today. Stone, 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 do you know what he does to commanders whose bases have clogged sinks in the Petty Officers Club? Twitch paled. He feeds them to his pet barracuda? Worse. He assigns them to the Aleutian Islands to count icebergs. Blight clutched his stomach. My acid is melting my ribs. If I face Stone now, I'm a dead man. But if I were sick, if I were incapacitated. A wicked glint entered Blight's eyes. He looked out the window, toward the Stinger. 4-2 docked in the bay. Twitch, call the medic. I'm having a cardiac event. A big one, and while I am in the infirmary, I am appointing Jack Sterling as acting base commander. But sir, Twitch stammered, Sterling will turn this place into a Roman orgy within 20 minutes. Exactly. Blight cackled, then immediately groaned. Stone will catch him in the act. Sterling will be court-martialed, and I will be hailed as a martyr who held on until his last breath. Now, catch me. I'm fainting. Twitch, naturally, missed the catch. Blight hit the floor with the sound of a falling piano. Chapter 2. The Acting Commander. Jack Sterling took command of Emerald Island with the grace of a man who had just inherited a haunted house and intended to throw a housewarming party anyway. By noon, the Sea Rats had transformed the air raid shelter into a tiki lounge. Lieutenant Nurse Sylvia the Siren Wilson had been sent by a faking Blight to lure Sterling into a swimming excursion to ensure he was out of uniform when the Grand Marshal arrived. Commander, the Grand Marshal's plane has touched down. Pringle screamed, his eyes wide. Sterling, currently wearing a Hawaiian shirt and holding a coconut, didn't blink. Calm down, Twitch. We just need to tidy up. Tidy up? There are 4 hula dancers in the bomb shelter, and the Petty Officers Club is serving homemade, fermented pineapple juice. Then we put the dancers in the laundry, Sterling ordered. And tell the crew to look busy. If anyone asks, the pineapple juice is experimental aviation fuel. Grand Marshal Stone arrived looking like a statue carved out of granite. He marched through the base, his nose twitching. Sterling, Where is Blight? In the hospital, sir, Sterling said smoothly. Near death. It's tragic. He was crying out for the Grand Marshal with his last ounce of strength. Stone grunted. Let's see the laundry. Sterling froze. The dancers were in the laundry. He diverted Stone toward the hospital, but Blight, who was watching through a telescope from his infirmary bed, couldn't help himself. He leaped out of bed, put on a seaman's uniform to spy, and ended up getting caught by Stone in a closet with a nurse. Blight, Stone roared. Why are you in a closet, and why are you wearing the uniform of a mess cook? I was investigating a conspiracy, sir. Blight squeaked. Sterling is running a hula circuit in the bomb shelter. Stone marched to the bomb shelter. It was empty. Sterling had moved the girls to the motor pool. Blight looked like a lunatic. Stone ordered him back to bed and put him on a regimen of sedatives. Sterling had survived the first round. Chapter 3, The Sultan of Swing. A week later, a new challenge arrived. The Sultan of Marami. The Sultan was a man of immense wealth and an even more immense temper. He arrived with his 3 daughters, the princesses of Marami, seeking refuge from a pirate blockade. Blight, desperate to regain favor with the high command, planned a royal gala. Sterling, you and your riffraff are restricted to the dock, Blight commanded. The Sultan only deals with officers of high breeding. That means me. However, Sterling had already befriended the Sultan during the rescue. The Sultan had even enjoyed steering the Stinger, 4-2, nearly ramming a coral reef in the process. The night of the gala, a disaster struck. The Sultan's youngest daughter, Princess Siri, had snuck off with Virgil, the Stinger, 4-2's resident charming rogue, for a boat ride. If the Sultan finds out his daughter is missing, he'll declare war on the archipelago. Sterling looked at his crew. We need a princess. Now, he turned to Biggie Malone, the crew's heaviest and most bearded engineer. Biggie, put on the veil. No way, Skip. It's for the Navy, Biggie. And so, at the gala, Biggie Malone sat draped in silks and a heavy veil. Blight, eager to impress, kept trying to flirt with the princess. Your Highness has such robust shoulders, Blight remarked, leaning in. Biggie, in a high-pitched falsetto, replied, It is from the rowing captain. In my country, the women are built like oxen. The Sultan was suspicious. Siri seems taller, and she smells of diesel oil. Just as the Sultan reached to lift the veil, the real Princess Siri climbed through the window, soaked in seawater but smiling. Sterling quickly diverted the Sultan's attention by offering him a ceremonial pipe filled with the crew's special blend of herbal tobacco. By the time the Sultan finished the pipe, he wouldn't have noticed if the princess was a llama. Blight, however, tried to arrest the imposter Biggie, accidentally tackling the Sultan instead. The Sultan punched Blight in the jaw, and Sterling was once again the hero of the hour. Chapter 4. The Laughing Gas. Lament. Blight's hatred reached a boiling point when he decided to convene a fitness board to have Pringle dishonorably discharged. I've got him, Sterling. Blight cackled. Pringle accidentally torpedoed a garbage scow last month. I have the records. He's finished. Sterling knew Pringle was a disaster, but he was their disaster. He hatched a plan involving the base dentist's supply of nitrous oxide laughing gas. The crew snuck a tank of the gas into the ventilation system of Blight's office just as the fitness board arrived. As Blight began to read the charges, his voice started to lilt. And on July, giggle, 16th, a pile of potato peels, the board members, also inhaling the gas, started howling. Blight was rolling on the floor. And then, I ran him over with my jeep. Ha ha! I'm a murderer. It's so funny. Just as the Grand Marshal walked in, he found the entire board in hysterics. Pringle, in a moment of gas-induced bravery, marched out into the middle of an accidental air raid, a drill gone wrong, and started shooting at the sky with a flare gun while laughing like a maniac. The Grand Marshal was impressed. Look at that boy. He stands in the face of death and laughs. That is the spirit of the new Navy. Blight, you're a fool. Cancel the hearing. Blight, still high on the gas, tried to hug the Grand Marshal. He was placed under psychiatric observation for 48 hours. Chapter 5. Gustave and the Gold. The final showdown occurred over the Emerald Island payroll. $62,000 in cold, hard cash. Blight, in a move of extreme generosity, assigned Sterling's crew to transport the money, hoping they would steal it. Go down the shortcut, Blight advised. Past the gambling dens and the racetrack. Pringle, tasked with carrying the bag, was ambushed not by pirates, but by a girl with a heart-shaped birthmark on her ankle and her accomplices. He woke up with a knot on his head and no money. We're dead, Pringle moaned. Blight will have us in the brig for 100 years. Not yet, Sterling said. We have a witness. The witness was Gustav, a 12-foot alligator that lived in the swamp near the racetrack. The sea rats had been feeding Gustav peanut butter sandwiches for months. Skip, I saw the alligator swimming away with a leather wallet in its mouth. A crewman shouted. It wasn't just any wallet, it was Blight's wallet, which he had dropped while trying to plant evidence. Gustave had swallowed the payroll bag, thinking it was a particularly heavy sandwich. The climax occurred in a courtroom. Blight was screaming for blood. They stole it. The fox and his rats. They have the money. Sir, Sterling said, we don't have it. Gustave does. The alligator? Blight shrieked. You expect the court to believe an alligator is a bank robber? At that moment, the crew led Gustave into the courtroom on a heavy chain. The alligator looked bored until Pringle pulled out a jar of extra crunchy peanut butter. Open up, Gustave. The alligator let out a massive yawn. Sterling reached into the beast's maw with extreme caution and pulled out a slime-covered canvas bag. The payroll, sir, Sterling announced, tossing it onto the judge's desk. But there was more. Out of the alligator's mouth also fell a set of marked $100 bills, the ones Blight had used to try and frame Sterling earlier in the month. Wait, the judge advocate said, picking up the marked bills. These have your initials on them, Commodore Blight, and they are marked as bait. Care to explain why you were trying to entrap your own officers? Blight turned a shade of purple that hadn't been seen since the invention of the grape. It was a drill, a loyalty test. It looks like a felony, the judge said. Court dismissed. Commodore Blight, you will remain here for questioning. Epilogue. The sun set over the Stinger. As the sun set over Emerald Island, the crew of the Stinger, 4-2 sat on the deck of their boat. They had $62,000, now safely returned. A pet alligator, and a commander who had managed to beat the system once again. Blight was seen in the distance, being chased by a group of nurses who were still demanding their garter belts. You know, Skip, Pringle said, leaning back. I think I'm getting the hang of this Navy thing. Sterling smiled, sipping a glass of the aviation fuel pineapple juice. Just remember the golden rule. Twitch. What's that, Skip? Never trust a man with an iron stomach. And never, ever get between an alligator and his peanut butter. The Stinger. 4-2 roared to life, heading out into the lagoon, leaving the chaos of Emerald Island behind. At least until next Tuesday. Chronicles of Moon Gamma. The Sterling Shenanigans. A Space-Age Comedy of Errors. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis and the Admiral's Shadow. In the year 2342, on the dusty, low-gravity outpost of Moon Gamma, Commodore Barnaby Iron Stomach Blight was having a meltdown. This was not a rare occurrence. In fact, Blight's meltdowns were the primary source of heat for the command center during the lunar winters. Blight stood over his desk, his face a shade of crimson that nearly matched the emergency lights of the base. Finch, he bellowed. Ensign Arthur Finch, a man whose spine was made entirely of jelly and whose primary skill was nodding enthusiastically at everything the Commodore said, scurried into the room. Yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. Whatever it is, I agree, sir. Finch, you are the supply officer of this godforsaken rock, Blight hissed, slamming a requisition form onto the table. The nurses in the medical wing have sent me a formal complaint. They need anti-gravity garter belts. Why haven't they been distributed? If the nurses need to keep their hosiery up in 0G, you snap to it, shake a leg. Or, whatever they use legs for these days. I'm on it, sir. I'll shake every leg on the base. Finch squeaked. Blythe slumped into his hovering chair, rubbing his temples. What a war. The intergalactic coalition is falling apart, and I'm worried about hosiery. And to make matters worse, I just got a subspace transmission. High Admiral Stone is arriving today for a sneak inspection. Finch's face went pale. Sir, this place is a disaster. The Petty Officer's Lounge has a sewage backup in the synthetic ale dispensers, and Squad 7 is currently running an illegal moon snail racing ring in the air raid shelters. I know, Blythe screamed. I'm the commanding officer, not a plumber or a bookie. My stomach acid could power a starship. Give me those antacid pills, Finch. The blue ones. No, the purple ones. The blue ones. Make me hallucinate about space ponies. As Blythe crunched on his medication, a wicked thought crossed his mind. He looked at the medical monitor on his wrist. Finch, what if I was sick? Truly sick. Sick enough to be incapacitated. Sir, you look remarkably healthy, aside from the twitch in your left eye. Think, you ninny. If I'm in the infirmary, I have to appoint an acting base commander. Someone to take the brunt of Admiral Stone's wrath. Someone who will inevitably fail so spectacularly that the Admiral will be too busy court-martialing them to notice the sewage in the lounge. Finch's eyes widened. Sir, you're a genius. Who did you have in mind? Not Commander Sterling? Blythe grinned, a terrifying sight. Jack Sterling. With that rebel and his pack of scavengers in charge of Moon Gamma, they'll run wild. They'll turn this place into a Roman orgy in front of the Admiral. Sterling will be sent to the spice mines, and I'll come back as the hero who cleans up the mess. Brilliant, sir. Simply brilliant. I'll call the medics. I'll tell them you've contracted lunar plague. Do I look sick to you, Finch? Blythe asked, trying to look pathetic. Terribly, sir. You look like you've been eating radioactive waste. Excellent. Now, catch me. I'm going to faint. Finch, distracted by a holographic butterfly, did not catch him. Blythe hit the floor with a metallic thud. You stupid numbskull. You were supposed to catch me. Chapter 2. The Malingear's Gambit. Commander Jack Sterling, a man whose uniform was usually 3 sizes too big and whose hair was perpetually wind-swept by ventilation fans, entered the Commodore's quarters. He found Blythe lying in a luxury medical pod, looking remarkably comfortable for someone supposed to be dying. Oh, hello, Sterling, Blythe groaned, fluttering his eyelids. It's the end for me. The medics, they don't know what it is. Space gout? Martian measles? All I know is I'm in bad shape. Sterling leaned over the pod. Gee, Commodore, that's tough. You want me to raise your head? Maybe turn off the vibrating massage feature on that bed? Put it down. Push it down. Blythe snapped as Sterling accidentally hit the incline button, nearly folding the Commodore in half. I was just trying to make you comfortable, sir. Blythe coughed dramatically. Sterling, I've decided. Since I'm incapacitated, I'm appointing you as the acting base commander. You'll be in charge of the whole colony until if I recover. Sterling blinked. Me? Sir, you've got to be kidding. I'm a star pilot. I belong in a cockpit, not behind a desk. I don't know the first thing about administration. I wouldn't dream of letting you do it alone, Blythe said, hiding a smirk. I'm also appointing your second in command, Lieutenant Chip Pendergast, as the acting executive officer. Outside the door, Chip Pendergast, a man who once accidentally saluted a vending machine, let out a muffled cheer. Oh boy, did you hear that, Jax? We're in the big leagues, Sterling sighed. All right, Commodore, if it's an order, but don't say I didn't warn you. As soon as Sterling and Pendergast left, Blythe sat up and reached for a glass of synthetic champagne. This is going to be the happiest illness of my life, Finch. Within 3 hours, Stone will be here, and Sterling will be trying to sell the Admiral's shuttle for scrap parts. Chapter 3. The Scavengers take command. Command of Moon Gamma was not something Jack Sterling took lightly. He took it exactly the opposite of lightly. Within an hour, the command center looked less like a military hub and more like a chaotic garage sale. Squad 7 had moved in. Gruber, the squad's resident acquisitions specialist, was currently on the comms with a black market dealer. "Yeah, we found the garter belts," Gruber whispered into his headset. "No, tell the nurses they're on the way, and tell the petty officers the sinks are still clogged, but we're using the water to chill the latest batch of moonshine." Sterling walked in, rubbing his eyes. "Chip, what's the status of the colony?" Pendergast, wearing a headset upside down, looked up. "Great news, Jax. I authorized the construction of a new recreation wing for the robots. Unfortunately, I put it right in the middle of the laser firing range. I told the construction droids to keep their heads down." Suddenly, the radar technician shouted, "Commander, we've got an unidentified craft on the long-range scanners. It's moving fast." Sterling leaned over the console. "Track it. Give me a positive ID. Oh, no. It's High Admiral Stone's flagship." "He's early." The command center erupted into panic. Squad 7 began frantically hiding moonshine bottles inside hollowed-out computer terminals. "Gruber, the party," Sterling yelled. "You told the boys they could throw a shindig to celebrate our promotion. The boys are already halfway through the first keg." "Skip," Gruber shouted. "They've got a troupe of holographic hula dancers and everything." "Cancel it. Shut it down," Sterling commanded. But it was too late. The music was already blaring through the colony's PA system. A group of local lunar miners and star sailors were currently engaged in a grav dance, floating through the air while trying to catch synthetic flowers in their teeth. "Admiral Stone is landing in 3 minutes. Move, move, move," Sterling ordered. "Get those dancers into the air raid shelters. Hide the kegs in the laundry. And somebody get Pendergast a clean uniform. He's got synthetic mustard on his medals." Chapter 4. The Admiral's Inspection. High Admiral Stone stepped off his shuttle, his boots clicking with terrifying precision on the lunar tarmac. He was followed by an entourage of officers who looked like they hadn't blinked since the late 23rd century. "Welcome to Moongama, Admiral," Sterling said, snapping a salute that was only slightly crooked. "Acting Commander Sterling at your service." Stone looked Sterling up and down. "At ease." "Where is Commodore Blight?" "Laying in the infirmary, sir." "A tragic case of—" "Well, we're not sure. He's delirious. Keeps talking about hula dancers." Stone's eyes narrowed. "Hula dancers?" "Hallucinations, sir." "Stress of command," Pendergast interjected, stepping forward. "Ensign Lieutenant Acting Executive Officer Pendergast, sir. May I offer you a ceremonial lei?" He held out a string of blinking LED lights. Stone pushed the lights away. "I want to see the Commodore. And then, I want a full inspection of this base. I've heard rumors of irregularities. Won't have you two way." And then, they marched to the infirmary. Blight was waiting, tucked into bed, trying to look as if he were on his deathbed. "Admiral." "Stone." Blight gasped. "You've come to see me. Pass into the great beyond." "Nonsense, Blight. You look fine. A bit red in the face, but fine," Stone said. "Admiral, you must go to the air raid shelters," Blight suddenly shouted, pointing a shaky finger at Sterling. "Don't listen to him. There are hula dancers there, an orgy of holographic hedonism." Stone looked at Sterling. "Sterling? He's delirious, sir," Sterling said calmly. "I saw them with my own eyes," Finch added, peeking from behind the curtain. "They were wiggling right into the Admiral's flagship path." Stone walked over to the closet in the infirmary. "What's in here?" "Nothing, sir," Sterling said. Stone swung the door open. Out tumbled Lieutenant Nurse Wilson, who had been hiding there after a secret swim in the base's illegal pool. She was wearing a swimsuit that was definitely not regulation. There was a long, cold silence. "A nurse. In a closet. She's part of the medical test, sir," Pendergast blurted out. We're testing the effects of closet confinement on lunar swimmers. Blight, Stone said, turning to the bed. I've seen enough. Your base is a madhouse. Your commander is a lunatic, and you're seeing hula dancers. I'm going to conduct a thorough inspection. If I find one more irregularity, heads will roll. Blight grinned. Proceed, Admiral. Start with the air raid shelters. Chapter 5. The Nebula 9 Protocol. The next day, Mungama was visited by a much more colorful guest, the ex-arch of the Nebula 9 cluster. He arrived in a gold-plated star yacht, accompanied by his 3 daughters, the princesses of the Nebula. Blight, having miraculously recovered once he realized Sterling wasn't being court-martialed fast enough, was back in command. Your Highness, Blight said, bowing so low he nearly fell over. It is a feather in our cap to have you here. Or rather, my cap. Not the riffraff's cap. The ex-arch, a tall man with a beard that seemed to glow in the dark, nodded. I am Karim. My daughters and I seek sanctuary while our yacht's warp drive is repaired. Of course. Sterling led the princesses away. One of them, Princess Siri, lingered behind. You are Jack Sterling? The pilot who rescued the cargo from the asteroid belt? Sterling smiled. That's me. You want to see the ship? The real ship? Not the fancy shuttle. I would love to, Siri whispered. Naturally, this led to a disaster. Sterling took Siri for a secret ride in a PT Star boat. Unfortunately, the ship's engines, which had been maintained by Pendergast using duct tape and hope, conked out in the middle of a nebula. Meanwhile, Blight was hosting a grand dinner for the ex-arch. Where are your daughters, Your Highness? Blight asked nervously. They are dressing, the ex-arch replied. They will perform a traditional dance for you. But Siri was missing. To save Sterling's neck, Squad 7 had to improvise. Gruber and Pendergast put on veils and traditional nebula, 9 silks, attempting to pass themselves off as the missing princesses. The dance was a catastrophe. Gruber, whose idea of grace was a stumbling elephant, accidentally kicked a tray of synthetic lobsters onto the ex-arch. Captain Blight, the ex-arch roared. Why is your daughter hairy and wearing combat boots under her silk? Blight lunged at the princess, ripping off the veil to reveal Pendergast's terrified face. I knew it, you phony Balinese bunny. You're under arrest. Captain, stop, the ex-arch shouted. You have insulted my daughters and my culture. I shall report this to the Intergalactic State Department. Wait, I didn't mean it, Blight cried. I thought it was Sterling's idiot executive officer. It is Sterling's idiot executive officer, Stone said, appearing in the doorway. Blight, your obsession with Sterling is reaching pathological levels. You are ordered to take a psychological evaluation. Chapter 6, The Laughing Gas Nebulae. Desperate to avoid the evaluation and the fitness board that Stone had threatened, Blight decided to get aggressive. He was going to prove Pendergast was unfit for service, once and for all. I'm going to have a fitness board convene. Makel. Sterling knew he had to act. He consulted with the base dentist, a man named Doc who spent more time fixing ship engines than teeth. We need to jolly him up, Sterling told the crew. If Blight is in a good mood, he'll cancel the board. How are we going to make that grouch smile? Gruber asked. Even a professional comedian couldn't get a smirk out of him. Nitrous oxide, Sterling said, grinning. Laughing gas. Doc has a whole tank of it for oral surgeries. We'll pump it into the Commodore's office through the ventilation shafts. The plan was set. As the fitness board members arrived, more grim-faced officers in grey suits, Squad 7 began the treatment. Blight was sitting in his office, fuming. I'll show them. I'll show that Pendergast. July 16th, he accidentally torpedoed a garbage scow. August 1st, he shot down a weather balloon. Suddenly, a faint, sweet-smelling mist began to fill the room. Blight sniffed the air. Finch, do you smell that? It smells like fun. Finch inhaled deeply. Sir, I feel light, like a balloon. Blight began to giggle. A balloon, that's what Pendergast shot down. Oh, that's a riot. He thought it was a spy drone, but it was just a big, round, squishy balloon. He burst into a fit of hysterical laughter. And the garbage scow. He thought it was a cloaked submarine, camouflaged with potato peels. Potato peels. Ha ha ha. The fitness board walked in. Hi, Admiral Stone looked at Blight, who was currently rolling on the floor, clutching his stomach. Commodore Blight? Oh, Admiral, you're just in time, Blight wheezed, tears streaming down his face. Cancel the board. Pendergast is a genius, a comedic genius. Give him a promotion, make him an admiral. Admiral Pendergast. Can you imagine? He'd salute the moon, and it would salute back. Stone looked at the other board members. He's lost it. Combat fatigue. Get him to the psych ward. Wait! Blight shouted as the gas began to wear off. No, it was a trick. Sterling did this to me. But as he chased Sterling out of the office, an actual enemy air raid began. A squadron of Imperial fighters descended on the base. Pendergast, still slightly lightheaded from the gas, wandered out into the middle of the laser battery field. He looked up at the sky, saw a fighter diving toward him, and pulled out a target designator, thinking it was a laser pointer for a presentation. He accidentally tripped. The designator locked onto the lead fighter, and the base's automated defense cannons obliterated the enemy squadron in a single, massive blast. Stone watched from the air raid shelter, his mouth open. Magnificent. The man stands laughing in the face of death, ignores the sirens, and takes out the entire squadron with a single-handed maneuver. Sterling, your executive officer, is a hero. Blight, who was being dragged away by medics, screamed. Take him away, Stone said sadly. The man is clearly broken. Chapter 7. The Ghost of PT-13. A week later, things had returned to a semi-normal state of chaos. However, a new rumor was haunting the docks. The curse of the ghost ship. The colony had received a new patrol craft, designated PT-13. The crew was terrified. Skip, we can't sail that boat, Gruber said, trembling. According to the records, the first 3 crews all disappeared. Spontaneous combustion. Ghost pirates. Space madness. Sterling checked the records. Blight made this up. He changed our ship's number from 73 to 13 just to freak you guys out so you'd request a transfer. Well, it's working, Pendergast cried. I saw a black space cat jump onto the hull today. That's 7 years of bad luck multiplied by the Friday the 13th lunar cycle. Sterling decided to play Blight's game. They used holographic projectors and magnetic resonance speakers to turn the Commodore's quarters into a haunted house. Barnaby, Barnaby. A ghostly voice echoed through the room. Blight sat up, his hair standing on end. Who's there? Finch? Is that you? We are the ghosts of PT-13. The voice boomed. Sterling, wearing a glowing white spacesuit, floated outside the window. We've come back from the spice mines of the afterlife to haunt you until you return the transfer papers. Gee, ghosts? Blight stammered. I don't believe in ghosts. It's against regulations. Then explain this. The room began to shake as Pendergast used a tractor beam to lift Blight's bed into the air. Take them. Take the papers, Blight screamed, throwing a folder of transfer requests into the air. Just leave me alone. I'll never mention the number 13 again. The ghosts vanished. The next morning, Blight walked into the command center, looking like he'd seen, well, a ghost. Sterling, he whispered. Thank you, sir, Sterling said, hiding a grin. Glad to see you've come to your senses. Chapter 8. The Great Galactic Payroll Heist. The final straw for Commodore Blight came when he was ordered to transport the colony's payroll, 62,000 credits, in unmarked currency chips. I'm not giving that money to Sterling, Blight told Finch. I'll set a trap. I'll tell Pendergast to pick up the money and take the shortcut through the Neon District. When he inevitably gets distracted by a holographic showgirl or a synthetic L stand, I'll have him arrested for negligence. Pendergast did exactly as expected. He picked up the heavy bag of credits and started walking. But on his way, he encountered Sid, the base's cyber gator, a malfunctioning robotic mascot that had a habit of eating anything that looked like a snack. "Hey, Sid!" "Nice boy," Pendergast said, patting the metal reptile. Sid let out a mechanical hiss, snapped the bag of credits out of Pendergast's hand, and scuttled away into the lunar tunnels. "The money, it's gone," Pendergast wailed. When Sterling found out, he panicked. They spent all night searching the tunnels. Finally, they found Sid. The robotic alligator was hiding in a maintenance duct, the bag of credits still clutched in its titanium jaws. "I'll get it," Sterling said. "Sid, open up." "Nice robot. Good boy." Sid snapped at Sterling's hand. "He's not giving it up, Skip. He thinks it's a battery pack." The court-martial began an hour later. Blight was triumphant. "Admiral Stone, I charge Lieutenant Pendergast with the theft of 62,000 credits. He claims a robot alligator ate it. Have you ever heard such a ridiculous story?" "It's true, sir," Pendergast cried. "Sid is a thieving monster." "Enough," Stone shouted. "Produce the money or face the consequences." Just then, the doors to the courtroom burst open. "We have new evidence, sir," Sterling shouted. "Bring in the witness." They opened the crate. Sid the cybergator waddled out, his jaws still locked onto the canvas bag. "There it is," Pendergast shouted. "The evidence." Blight turned pale. That's my bag, but it was a trap." Finch marked the credits. Stone looked at the chips. "Marked? You set a trap for your own officers, Blight? Using the base payroll as bait?" I, Blight stuttered. Stone stood up, his face carved from granite. "Commodore Blight, your conduct is unbecoming. You are hereby demoted to Junior Maintenance Officer. Sterling, you are promoted to Acting Commodore until a replacement can be found." Blight screamed as he was led away. "Why me? Why is it always me? I'll get you for this, Sterling. Even if I have to clean every synthetic ale dispenser in the galaxy." As the dust settled on Moongama, Jack Sterling leaned back in the Commodore's chair. He put his boots up on the desk and looked at Pendergast. "Well, Chip, we're in charge now. What's the first order of business?" Pendergast grinned, adjusting his LED lay. "I think the nurses still need those anti-gravity garter belts, sir," Sterling laughed. And on the quiet, dusty rock of Moongama, the hula dancers began to wiggle once more. To the end, the chaos of Cerulean Station, a novel of nautical nonsense and archipelagic absurdity. Chapter 1. The blood pressure of Director Varney. The Cerulean Archipelago was a string of emerald jewels dropped into a sapphire sea, owned entirely by the omni-global conglomerate OGC. It was supposed to be a paradise for the wealthy and a fortress for the powerful. Instead, for Director Sterling Steelbelly Vane, it was a humid, fly-infested purgatory where his career had come to die. Varney sat in his air-conditioned office, his face the color of an overripe beet. Across from him stood Officer Wood, a man whose primary contribution to the security force was his ability to agree with Vane before Vane had even finished speaking. "Garter belts. Wood. Garter belts." Vane slammed his fist onto a desk made of mahogany that cost more than a small house. "The support staff on Island 7 are complaining they don't have garter belts. I am the director of security for the most advanced private archipelago on the planet, and I am being treated like a haberdasher." "It's a travesty, sir," Wood chimed in, his spine as stiff as a frozen mackerel. "A tactical oversight by the supply chain. Everything is on my shoulders," Vane wailed, reaching for a bottle of antacids that he consumed like candy. "And now I get word from the Home Office. Inspector Iron Jaws Stone is arriving today. A sneak inspection. Do you realize what a mess this place is? The petty officer's lounge has sewage backing up into the luxury suites. The drone fleet is being used to deliver illegal rum. And Jax is just Jax. Jax." The name alone sent Vane's blood pressure into the stratosphere. Commander Kuda Jax was the leader of the Arch Rebels, a security detachment that operated more like a pirate crew than a professional unit. They were the most effective soldiers in the archipelago, but they followed only one set of rules. Their own. Vane grabbed his stomach and groaned. Wood, my stomach acid could melt through a blast door. If I have to face Stone, while this place looks like a frat party on a sinking ship, I'm finished. I'll be demoted to night watchman at a recycling plant. A wicked glint entered Vane's eye. He clutched his midsection with renewed vigor. Wait. If I'm sick truly, medically incapacitated, I can't be held responsible for the state of the base. Can I? Brilliant, sir, Wood said. But who? Not me, surely? I haven't the stomach for iron jaws. No, not you, Wood. You're a boob, Vane snapped. I'm appointing Jax. With Jax and his band of cutthroats in charge, they'll run wild. They'll turn this place into a Roman orgy within 3 hours. When Stone arrives, he won't see my failure, he'll see Jax's incompetence. They'll be court-martialed, and I'll be the tragic hero who was too ill to prevent the chaos. Vane collapsed into his chair, letting out a moan that sounded like a dying whale. Quickly, Wood, call the medical bay. Tell them Director Vane is at death's door. Chapter 2. The Reluctant Commander. Commander Jax was currently busy. He was lounging in a hammock on the deck of the Viper. 4-6. A modified patrol boat that smelled of jasmine and high-octane fuel. His second-in-command, a perpetually confused man named Pips, was trying to fix a radar unit with a hammer and a prayer. Easy with that, Pips, Jax drawled, adjusting his sunglasses. That radar costs 50 grand. If you break it, we'll have to navigate by the stars like ancient mariners. I think it's in neutral, Skip, Pips said, just as a loud clank echoed from the machinery. Suddenly, Officer Wood appeared on the pier, looking frantic. Jax! Jax! The director is dying. Or at least, he's making sounds like he is. He needs to see you in the infirmary immediately. Jax sighed, swinging out of his hammock. Probably just a bad oyster. Come on, Pips, let's go see the drama. In the infirmary, Vane was a masterpiece of theatrical agony. He was draped across a bed, a wet towel over his eyes, surrounded by pill bottles. Jax. Vane wheezed. The medics don't know what's wrong with me. It's the stress. The heavy burden of command. I'm appointing you acting director of the Cerulean Archipelago. Jax squinted. Me, director? Sir, I'm a saltwater sailor. I'm no good behind a desk. Why not Wood? He loves desks. He'd marry a desk if it had the right clearance. Wood is indispensable in other areas. Vane shouted, then quickly reverted to a whimper. No, Jax, it has to be you, and Pips here will be your executive oversight officer. Now go. Command the base. As Jax and Pips walked out, Pips was beaming. Pips, you're going to get us a one-way ticket to the brig, Jax muttered. Vane is up to something. He's setting us up. Jax wasn't wrong. Within an hour of Jax taking the throne, the archipelago shifted gears. Without Vane's constant micromanagement, the crew began to relax, and by relax, they meant they began to engage in every illicit activity they had been planning for months. Skip! Pip shouted, bursting into the director's office. The arch-rebels have organized a cultural exchange. There are hula dancers in the air raid shelter. We've found the missing garter belts, and the petty officers are running a high-stakes turtle racing ring in the laundry room. Jax rubbed his temples. And the inspector? Stone? His plane just landed, sir. He's on his way here in a jeep. Iron Jaws is coming. Jax stood up, his relaxed demeanor vanishing. All right, Pips. Battle stations. We've got 20 minutes to turn this Roman orgy back into a security base. Hide the girls, stop the turtles, and for heaven's sake, put on a tie. Chapter 3. Iron Jaws and the Air Raid Shelter. Inspector Stone was a man who didn't believe in smiles. He believed in starch, discipline, and the cold, hard logic of the OGC manual. When he stepped out of his jeep at Cerulean Station, he looked like he wanted to arrest the very air for being too humid. Where is Vane? Stone barked, his voice like grinding tectonic plates. In the hospital, sir, Jack said, standing at a sharp, albeit slightly crooked, attention. Acting Director Jax, at your service. And this is Officer Pips, my executive oversight. Pips saluted so hard he nearly knocked his own hat off. Stone grunted. Vane always was a weakling. I'll visit him first to confirm his illness, then I begin the inspection. I want to see the air raid shelters first. I hear they've been neglected. Jax felt a bead of sweat roll down his neck. The air raid shelter was currently occupied by 12 dancers and a crate of contraband pineapple wine. The shelters, sir? They're being fumigated, Jax lied. Very dangerous chemicals. Giant island spiders. You wouldn't want to go in there. I am not afraid of spiders, Commander, Stone said, stepping toward the hospital wing. Vane, meanwhile, was tucked in his bed, listening to the chaos outside. He was delighted. He knew Stone would find the dancers. He knew Jax would be blamed. When Stone entered Vane's room, Vane let out a pathetic groan. Inspector, I'm sorry I can't accompany you. It's my heart, or my liver, possibly both. Shut up, Vane, Stone said. Jax tells me the base is in perfect order. In order? Vane bolted upright, his acting forgotten for a split second. Sir, you must go to the air raid shelter. Jax has hidden hula dancers in there. It's a disgrace, a regular den of iniquity. Stone turned to Jax. Dancers? In the bunker? Sir, Director Vane is clearly delirious, Jax said smoothly. He even claimed there was a woman in his closet earlier. Vane's eyes widened. There is a woman in the closet. Nurse Wilson. She was helping me with my bandages. Stone walked to the closet and threw it open. Vane, Stone said, his voice dropping an octave. You are not only sick, you are insane. You're seeing phantoms. Vane. No, I saw them. Vane screamed, throwing off his covers. He ran to the window. There, in the laundry shack, I see grass skirts. Stone looked out the window. He saw nothing but clean laundry blowing in the wind. The crew had moved the dancers into the maintenance tunnels. Director Vane, Stone said, I am ordering you to remain in this bed under heavy sedation. Commander Jax, proceed with the inspection. I've seen enough of this brain fever for one day. As they left, Vane sat on the edge of his bed, shaking with rage. He's doing it. Jax is making me look like a lunatic. Wood, get me my uniform. We're going to catch them ourselves. Chapter 4. The Ghosts of Cerulean. The week continued to spiral. Jax had managed to dodge the inspection, but the crew's shenanigans were catching up to them. Vane, recovered and more vengeful than ever, decided to use the ultimate weapon, a fitness board. He wanted Pips, the weakest link, dismissed from the service for incompetence. He torpedoed the garbage scow, Makale. Vane screamed in Jax's office. He thought it was a camouflaged submarine. The man is a menace to navigation. He's a brave officer, sir, Jax countered. He stands his ground. He stands his ground because he's too confused to find the exit. Vane yelled. The board meets tomorrow. Pips is finished. Jax knew he had to act. He gathered the arch-rebels in the boat shed. All right, boys. Vane is trying to railroad Pips. We need him in a good mood. We need him so happy he'll cancel the hearing. How are we going to do that, Skip? Gearbox asked. Vane hasn't smiled since the 1990s. Laughing gas, Jax said. The medical supply shipment just arrived. 1 tank of nitrous oxide. We pipe it into Vane's office, he gets the giggles, and he signs the cancellation papers. The plan was executed with military precision, or at least the arch-rebel version of it. They snuck a hose into Vane's vent. Inside the office, Vane was reviewing Pips's disastrous record. July 16th. Accidentally fired a flare into the Admiral's birthday cake. August 1st. Torpedoed a floating island of seaweed. Suddenly, Vane sniffed the air. Wood, do you smell something sweet? It's lovely, sir, Wood said, his voice suddenly sounding an octave higher. Vane started to chuckle. Then he started to giggle. Then he was clutching his sides, tears streaming down his face. Wood, did you see Pip's hat? It's so small for his head. It's hilarious. Jax walked in, wearing a mask he quickly hid. Director? About that fitness board? Oh, Jax, my old pal. Vane roared with laughter, slapping Jax on the back. Forget the board. Pips is a riot. He's a barrel of monkeys. Send a message to the Home Office. Cancel everything. Tell them Pips is a genius. Sign here, sir, Jax said, sliding the papers over. Vane signed with a flourish, adding a little smiley face next to his name. But as the gas cleared, Vane's smile began to fade. The reality of what he'd done hit him like a freight train. Wait, what did I just sign? Jax, come back here. You used chemical warfare on your superior officer. The chase was on. Vane jumped into his jeep, but Jax had already sabotaged the fuel lines. The jeep backfired, covering Vane in soot. I'll get you, Jax, Vane screamed into the sky. If it's the last thing I do. Chapter 5. The Prince and the Proxy. Peace was short-lived. A new message arrived. The High Prince, Alzar, of the Helios Isles, was arriving for a diplomatic visit. He was bringing his 3 daughters, the princesses of the Sunday. The Admiral wants an impression. Wood, Vane shouted, adjusting his new, non-singed eyebrows. We need to show the prince that Cerulean Station is a place of culture and dignity. That means Jax and his riffraff need to be invisible. Vane ordered Jax to take the Viper 4-6 on a reconnaissance mission to a deserted rock 300 miles away. But the prince's plane developed engine trouble and was forced to land right near Jax's patrol route. Jax, ever the opportunist, rescued the prince. I am Karim, the prince said, stepping onto the Viper 4-6. He was draped in silks and wore enough gold to sink a smaller boat. These men, can they be trusted with my cargo? Absolutely, Your Highness, Jax said. We are the elite of the OGC. Wowie, wow, wow, Pips whispered, staring at the princesses. Like a chicken, the prince snapped, his eyes flashing. The next man who debases the dignity of my daughters will answer to my sword. By the time they reached the main base, the prince was enamored with Jax. This commander is a master of the sea. He allowed me to steer the boat. It was most amusing. Vane was fuming. He had prepared a grand dinner, but the prince insisted Jax be the guest of honor. During the dinner, Vane tried to sabotage Jax again. He noticed one of the princesses looked odd. Highness, Vane whispered, I suspect one of your daughters is an impostor. A security risk. Vane grabbed the veil of the youngest princess. Beneath it was Pips, wearing a wig and enough makeup to cover a barn. Jax had snuck Pips in to keep an eye on the prince's gold. Aha, Vane shouted. I knew it. A phony. A balinese bunny. The prince stood up, his face purple. You dare lay hands on my daughter? This is an insult to the Helios Isles. I shall raise your capital to the ground. Vane realized his mistake too late. No, Highness. I thought he was an ensign. I am leaving, the prince declared. And I shall tell the State Department that Director Vane is a lunatic who attacks women. Vane collapsed into the remains of the dessert. Why me? Why is it always me? Chapter 6. Snappy the Retriever. The final blow to Vane's sanity came in the form of a reptilian disaster. The OGC payroll, $62,000 in cash, had arrived. Pips had been assigned to transport it across the island. I can't entrust this to you, Pips, Vane had said, but the Admiral insists. Take the shortcut past the casino. Naturally, Pips was ambushed. Not by pirates, but by a distraction, a beautiful girl with a heart-shaped birthmark on her ankle. While Pips was busy being charmed, the money vanished. It's gone! Skip! Pips wailed to Jax. The whole payroll. Vane is going to hang me from the highest palm tree. We've got to find that dough, Jax said. What was the last thing you saw? An alligator, Pips said. A big one. It was smiling at me. The alligator was Snappy, the crew's unofficial mascot. Snappy had a habit of eating things he wasn't supposed to. In this case, He had snatched the canvas bag containing the $62,000. Jax and the crew spent the night hunting for the lizard. They found him near the swamp, the strap of the payroll bag still hanging out of his mouth. "Open up, Snappy," Jax pleaded. "Come on, boy. This is Pips's life we're talking about." Snappy hissed and retreated into a pipe. The next morning, the court-martial of Officer Pips began. Vane was the prosecutor, the judge, and the jury. "He stole it," Vane shouted. "I object," Pips shouted. "The alligator did it. Snappy is the thief." "An alligator?" Vane laughed. "A likely story. Bring in the evidence, or prepare for the brig." At that moment, the doors to the courtroom burst open. Jax and the arch-rebels marched in, leading Snappy on a heavy chain. "Behold, the key witness," Jax announced. The courtroom descended into chaos. Van tried to grab the bag, but Snappy snapped at his hand, sending Vane leaping onto the judge's bench. "Shoot it!" Vane screamed. "Shoot the beast!" "No," Pips cried, throwing himself in front of the lizard. "He's just an animal. He's innocent." In the scuffle, the bag tore open. Thousands of dollars began to fly through the air, caught in the draft of the ceiling fans. It was raining money. Inspector Stone, who had arrived just in time for the finale, stood in the doorway, covered in $100 bills. He looked at Vane, who was currently shivering on top of a mahogany desk. He looked at Jax, who was calmly collecting the cash. He looked at the alligator. "Vane," Stone said, his voice cold enough to freeze the ocean. "You told me Jax was a thief. But it seems Jax is the only one capable of finding the money you lost. And as for your insanity defense regarding the alligator, well, I see the lizard right there." Stone turned to Jax. "Commander, take your men and the money, and take the lizard." Director Vane, "You are relieved of command. You're being transferred to the Arctic Research Station. I hear the penguins are very disciplined." Chapter 7. The Aftermath. A week later, Cerulean Station was quiet. Jax was back in his hammock on the Viper 4-6. Pips was busy feeding Snappy a peanut butter sandwich. "You know, Skip," Pips said, "I'm going to miss Director Vane. He was a lot of fun to mess with." "Don't worry, Pips," Jax said, sipping a cold drink. "The OGC always sends a new director, and if they're anything like the last one, we'll have plenty of work to do." In the distance, the sound of a cannon echoed. It wasn't a battle. It was just the crew, celebrating another successful week of avoiding the rules. Jax closed his eyes and smiled. It was a beautiful day in the archipelago. The Azura Rim, Chronicles of the Commonwealth's Clumsiest Command. Chapter 1. The Twitch of Commodore Sterling. The heat on the island of Port Azure was the kind of humid weight that turned starched uniforms into wet rags within seconds of leaving an air-conditioned bunker. Commodore Archibald. The Twitch Sterling, a man whose blood was composed primarily of high-octane coffee and pure, unadulterated anxiety, paced his office like a caged cheetah with a nervous condition. "Garter belt!" Archibald barked into the intercom. "Sullivan, you are the logistics director of this godforsaken archipelago. If the medical corps says they need garter belts to keep their sanity or their stockings intact, then you snap to it. Shake a leg. Shake 2 legs. Just get them." Archibald slammed the receiver down. He wiped his brow, which was perpetually glistening. Life in the Commonwealth Maritime Force was supposed to be a series of dignified parades and strategic chess moves. Instead, he was presiding over a tropical outpost where the plumbing in the Senior Officers Club was currently performing a dramatic reenactment of the Fountains of Versailles, albeit with significantly more sewage. "Sir," squeaked Lieutenant Percival Pudge Plunkett, a man who looked like he had been poured into his uniform and forgot to say when. "I just got a priority Alpha transmission. High Admiral Ironjaw Ironstone is arriving today for a sneak inspection." Archibald's left eye began to twitch with the rhythm of a telegraph machine. "Ironjaw? Coming here? Now? Look at this place, Plunkett. It's a mess. The sailors are walking around in floral shirts. The PT boats are being used for deep-sea fishing excursions, and Jack Sullivan is probably currently operating a black market distillery out of the engine room of the flagship. Archibald gripped his desk. His stomach churned with a familiar, acidic fire. I can't face him. My stomach acid could power a small submersible. Plunkett, if I were incapacitated, say, by a sudden and mysterious tropical fever, I would have to appoint an acting base commander, wouldn't I? Plunkett nodded vigorously. Archibald looked at Plunkett. He looked at the man's lemonade-stained tie and his trembling knees. Not you, you marshmallow. I'll appoint Sullivan. I'll give Jack Slick Sullivan the keys to the kingdom. He and his gang of miscreants will run so wild that Ironjaw will have them all court-martialed before the sun sets. It's brilliant. It's the ultimate trap. But, sir, Plunkett whispered, you look quite healthy. Nonsense. Archibald collapsed onto his sofa, clutching his midriff. I am dying. Call the medic. Call the chaplain. Call anyone who can verify that I am too sick to be held responsible for whatever Sullivan does to this base in the next 6 hours. Chapter 2. The Sultan's Gilded Entourage. Commander Jack Sullivan, a man whose smile was as bright as a tropical sunrise and whose morals were as flexible as a gymnast, sat in the Commodore's chair with his boots on the desk. He had spent the morning trying to figure out how to repair the base's plumbing, using nothing but chewing gum and optimism. Listen up, boys. Sullivan said to his crew, a collection of specialists who specialized mostly in avoiding work. The twitch is in the infirmary, and we are in charge. The Admiral is coming, which means we need to look like a professional military unit for exactly 30 minutes. After that, the party starts. But the military precision was interrupted by a different kind of arrival. A golden seaplane, encrusted with what appeared to be genuine sapphires, touched down in the lagoon. Out stepped the Grand Exalt of the Indigo Isles, a man whose wealth was so vast he probably used gold bullion as doorstops. He was accompanied by his 3 daughters, the princesses of Marami, who wore veils that cost more than Sullivan's entire boat. Greetings, O exalted one, Sullivan said, bowing with a flourish. I am Commander Jack Sullivan. Welcome to Port Azure. I travel with priceless cargo, the Grand Exalt boomed. My daughters are the light of my soul. Are these men trustworthy? Sullivan looked at his crew. One was currently trying to use a magnifying glass to light a cigar. Another was asleep standing up. Trustworthy? Sir, my men are the finest guardians in the Commonwealth. We treat every guest like royalty. Mostly because we're hoping for a tip. Wowie, wow, wow, whispered Tiny Higgins, the crew's largest and least subtle member. Look at those princesses. Like a chicken, the Grand Exalt roared. Who dares debase the dignity of my daughters? In my country, such a comment is answered with the blade. Sullivan stepped in quickly. No, sir. Wowie wow wow is a traditional naval greeting. It means, may your sails always be full of favorable winds. The Grand Exalt squinted. It sounds like a chicken. It's an ancient dialect, Sullivan insisted. The royal visit became a nightmare of protocol. The Grand Exalt insisted on steering the PT boat, nearly crashing it into a coral reef while laughing like a maniac. Meanwhile, Archibald Sterling, watching from his hospital window, was fuming. He had hoped Sullivan would fail, but instead, the commander was winning over the richest man in the hemisphere. Chapter 3. The Gas of Greatness. The pressure was mounting. Admiral Iron Jaw had arrived, and was currently staring at a pile of discarded coconut husks that Plunkett had tried to pass off as camouflage defense modules. To make matters worse, Archibald's stress-induced toothache had reached a crescendo. He was dragged to the base dentist, a man who had received his medical degree via a correspondence course. I need a painkiller, Archibald groaned. Something strong. I can't let the Admiral see me like this. The dentist, confused by the shouting and the chaos outside, accidentally hooked Archibald up to a tank of pure nitrous oxide. The result was instantaneous. Archibald Sterling, the man who had never laughed in his life, began to giggle. Then he began to hoot. By the time he walked out of the infirmary, he was skipping. Oh, look at the pretty clouds. Archibald sang as Admiral Ironstone approached. Iron Jaw. My old pal, my old buddy-waddy. The Admiral froze. Commodore? Is that you? I'm a bird. I'm a beautiful tropical bird. Archibald flapped his arms. He then noticed Sullivan's boat pulling into the dock. Jax, my favorite pirate. Come and give your Commodore a hug. Sullivan stared in horror. Sir, the Admiral is right here. Please, act like a commanding officer. I don't want to be a commander, Archibald shrieked with joy. I want to be a hula dancer. Look at my hips, Ironstone. They don't lie. Ironstone turned to Sullivan, his face like granite. Commander Sullivan, I was under the impression this base was a strategic asset. It appears to be a lunatic asylum. I want a fitness board convened immediately to evaluate the sanity of this entire command. Sullivan whispered to his crew. Get the tank. We need to gas the Admiral. It's the only way he'll find this funny. Chapter 4. The Case of the Reptilian Thief. The base's unofficial mascot was Barnaby, a 7-foot-long monitor lizard with a penchant for shiny objects and peanut butter sandwiches. Barnaby was generally harmless, provided you didn't look like a snack. Archibald Sterling, finally recovered from his laughing gas high, was on a mission. He had decided to frame Sullivan for theft. He had marked 9 $100 bills from his own secret stash and placed them in his wallet, intending to leave it in Sullivan's quarters. I'll catch him red-handed, Archibald cackled. He won't be able to explain how the Commodore's private funds ended up in his footlocker. However, Archibald's plan hit a snag. He accidentally dropped the wallet near the lagoon. Barnaby, seeing the shiny leather, flicked his tongue and swallowed the wallet whole in one smooth, reptilian gulp. When Archibald realized his wallet was missing, he panicked. He didn't know the lizard had it. He assumed Sullivan had stolen it from his pocket during a hug earlier. Arrest him, Archibald screamed. He's stolen the Commodore's identity and his lunch money. A court-martial was convened in the mess hall. Plunkett was forced to act as the defense attorney, which was like asking a sheep to defend a wolf. Sir, Plunkett stammered. The defense moves for a dismissal on the grounds that an alligator took it. An alligator? Archibald roared. There are no alligators on this island. It's a monitor lizard, sir. His name is Barnaby. The court was interrupted by a scratching sound at the door. Barnaby waddled in, looking slightly bloated. He approached the bench and, with a massive burp, regurgitated the leather wallet directly onto the Admiral's lap. The Admiral opened the wallet. He saw the marked bills. He saw Archibald's ID card. He also saw a half-eaten peanut butter sandwich that Barnaby had consumed earlier. Commodore, the Admiral said slowly, why is your money covered in lizard bile? And more importantly, why were you trying to frame your most successful officer for a theft that a reptile clearly committed? It was a training exercise. Archibald squealed. To test the security of the lizard population. Chapter 5. The Dreadnought. 1-3. The base's newest acquisition was a salvaged PT boat, the Dreadnought 1-3. Legend had it that every time the boat left the harbor, something went wrong. Engines exploded. The compass spun in circles, and the cook always burned the toast. Archibald wanted Sullivan to take the Dreadnought 1-3 on a dangerous reconnaissance mission, hoping the Jinx would finally do what he couldn't. I won't do it, Skip, Tiny Higgins said. That boat has the whammy on it. My grandmother says 13 is the devil's dozen. Sullivan, however, saw an opportunity. Boys, if we make the boat look really jinxed, Archibald will be too scared to ever come near us again. That night, the crew rigged the Dreadnought 1-3 with hidden wires, projectors, and speakers. When Archibald and Plunkett came down to the dock for a midnight inspection, Sullivan put on the performance of a lifetime. Suddenly, the engines of the empty boat roared to life. The lights began to flicker. A ghostly voice, projected through a megaphone hidden in the funnel, began to moan. Archibald, Archibald, I'm coming for you. Archibald's knees hit the deck. It's the ghosts. The ghosts of the sailors who died in the Great Garter Belt shortage of 42. A holographic projection of a skeletal sailor appeared on the bridge. Give us the transfers. Sullivan must stay, or the curse will follow you to the mainland. Archibald didn't wait to hear the rest. He scrambled back to his office, signed every transfer request Sullivan had ever submitted, and hid under his desk with a bottle of antacids until dawn. Chapter 6. The Great Payroll Heist. The stakes reached their peak when the base payroll, $62,000 in unmarked currency, arrived in New Azure City. Plunkett, assigned to pick up the money, was knocked unconscious by a falling crate, or so he claimed, and the money vanished. "It's gone," Plunkett wailed. "The money is gone. All I remember is a girl's ankle." "A girl's ankle?" Sullivan asked. "That's all you've got for me?" It was a very nice ankle, Skip. It had a heart-shaped birthmark right above the bone. Sullivan knew they were in trouble. If the payroll wasn't found, Archibald would have the entire crew in the brig for life. They spent the next 12 hours scouring the nightclubs of New Azure City, looking for the girl with the heart-shaped birthmark. The search led them to a high-stakes gambling casino run by a man known only as the Shark. There, they found the girl a cabaret singer named Celeste. "I saw the men who took your bag," Celeste whispered. "They're in the back room, trying to use the money to buy a private island." Sullivan and his crew engaged in a dramatic, chaotic showdown. They used a decorative cannon from the casino's lobby, stuffed it with the stolen money, which they had recovered during the fight, and fired it to hide the evidence during a police raid. When Archibald Sterling finally arrived with the authorities, he found Sullivan and his men standing over the pile of cash. "I caught you," Archibald screamed. "You've stolen the payroll." "Stolen it?" Sullivan asked, acting shocked. "Sir, we've just recovered it from the thieves." "We were just counting it to make sure every cent was there. 42,364. 42,365. Archibald looked at the money. He looked at the smoking cannon. He looked at the Admiral, who was watching with an expression of weary resignation. "Sullivan," the Admiral said, "you are either the greatest hero the Commonwealth has ever seen, or the most brilliant criminal I've ever met. Either way, you're getting a medal." Archibald Sterling collapsed. His twitch had moved from his eye to his entire left side. As Sullivan and his crew headed back to the boat to celebrate, the Commodore whispered to the empty air, "Why me? Why is it always me?" Far off in the lagoon, Barnaby, the lizard, burped, flicked his tongue, and went back to sleep in the sun. The end. The Chaos of the Silver Spoon, Saboteurs. A novel of naval absurdity. Chapter I. The Garter Belt Crisis and the Stomach of Doom. The humid air of the Isla de Niebla was thick enough to chew, a tropical soup of salt, jasmine, and the looming scent of impending disaster. At the center of this administrative hellscape sat Commodore Barnaby, Iron Stomach Bluster, a man whose blood pressure was currently high enough to power a small destroyer. "Wow," Bluster whispered to the ceiling of his office, his voice trembling with a mixture of awe and fury. "Wow, wow, wow." Garter belts. Opposite him stood Lieutenant Elroy, the toddy trowel, a man whose posture was so rigid it suggested he had replaced his spine with a steel rebar. "The nurses are quite insistent, sir," Trowell chirped. "If they are to maintain morale, they require the proper hosiery retention hardware." "It's a matter of supply, sir." "You are the supply officer, Trowell," Bluster roared, slamming a hand onto a desk covered in half-empty antacid bottles. "If the nurses need garter belts, you snap to it. You shake a leg. Oh, you know what I mean. My life is a tragedy of logistics. Everything is on my shoulders. I am the Atlas of the South Seas. And instead of the world, I am carrying a shipment of lace and elastic." The phone on Bluster's desk shrieked. He snatched it up. "Yes! This is Commodore Bluster. Who did you expect? Tokyo Rose? What? The sinks at the Petty Officers Club are backing up? So what? I'm the commanding officer, not a plumber. Fix it with a grenade for all I care." He slammed the phone down and winced, clutching his midsection. "Sir, please," Trowell pleaded. "Those pills give you the most terrible indigestion. They make you erratic. I don't care. I don't care if I turn into a fire-breathing dragon. Admiral Granite Gavel is arriving today for a sneak inspection, the man they call the Iron Sledge. If he sees the state of this base, the gambling, the moonshine, the hula girls, he'll strip the skin off my back. Bluster's eyes suddenly widened. A slow, terrifying smile spread across his face. But what if I was